ask of you, one thing that we desire, that as we worship you, Lord, come and change our lives.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Arise, take your place, be enthroned on our praise. Arise, King of Kings, Holy God, as we sing. Lord, come and inhabit the praises of your people. How many of God's people do we have?
26 after 6, Thursday morning, July 10, 2025. Donald James Moon, better known as Don Moon, starting our morning on a note of praise. Our expression of gratitude and deep respect and reverence to God for saving our lives, sparing us another day. A brand new one, of course, is a gift we certainly are grateful for. And as we lift our praise, He will arise because He inhabits the praise of His people. Welcome to a brand new day, another opportunity to start afresh and pursue excellence in all we do. Good morning to you. 97.3 Citi FM. We call it the Citi Breakfast Show. We have so much to do, so much to achieve, a lot to pursue in the interest of the nation. We always like to start on the note of praise and start with some thoughts to provoke you, challenge you to be the best you can. And so Vince Lombardi says this morning that the quality of a person's life is in direct proportion to their commitment to excellence, regardless of their chosen field of endeavor. The quality of a person's life is in direct proportion to their commitment to excellence, regardless of their chosen field of endeavor. So it doesn't matter if you're on the fields, you're in the office, wherever you find yourself, the quality of your life is directly proportional to your commitment to excellence. If you're mediocre, your services are mediocre, your products are mediocre, expect to get mediocre returns. But if you're looking forward to excellent returns, excellent rewards, that will encompass the total outlook of your life. You want every aspect of your life to exude quality and excellence, then you must be committed to excellence. Because as you demand quality of yourself, as you give off quality, you realize that you cannot tolerate getting mediocre services or products from others. So let's all pursue excellence and be committed to quality in whatever we do. We call it Business Sense. It's brought to you by Access Bank. Access Bank says, bring your ketua and come for Kasia. For ketua beji Kasia. You simply deposit a minimum of 250 Ghana cedis into your new or existing Access Bank current or savings account, and then you join this promo. Increase it to 500 Ghana cedis or more and qualify for a draw. Youth customers or solo accounts spend 500 Ghana cedis or more with any Access Visa card and qualify for a reward. The more you deposit, the higher your chances of winning. So don't sit back, just deposit now and stand a chance to win a share of over 500,000 Ghana cedis in cash and other amazing rewards like PS5, iPhone 16, Chromebook, and so much more in our 4 monthly mini draws and 2 mega draws. As a promo that runs from now to September 2025. We're doing this together with NLA on their Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Join the Faketwa Beji Kesia train and save now for the future and win big. Visit our website ghana.accessbankplc.com call us on toll-free number 0800 004400. Access Bank is more than banking. It's an interactive show. Join us 0549 986 996. My name is Caleb Kuda. Welcome aboard.
If you have 250 Ghana cedis right now, it can do wonders for you. Chairman, Fabeji, it could turn your tears into joy in the Access Bank Fakitwabeji Kesiye promo. Madam, Fabeji, it could get you up to 50,000 Ghana cedis cash prize. Business owner, Fabeji, as a student, make transactions with your Access Bank card, and that could get you Spotify and Netflix subscriptions, PS5, iPhone 16 Pro Max, and more. This be out of class sense. Fabeji, you see what 250 Ghana cedis can do for you? And Gasakra. Fabeji, it's the Access Bank Fakitwabeji Kesiye promo. Deposit a minimum of 250 Ghana cedis and its multiples in your new or existing accounts and be on your way to winning a share of the 580,000 Ghana cedis in cash prizes and other amazing rewards. The more you deposit, the more your chances of winning. Promo runs from now to September 2025. This promo is in partnership with NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Access Bank, more than banking.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
When you cry, be sure to dry your eyes, 'cause better days are sure to come. And when you smile, be sure to smile wide, and don't let them know that they have won. And when you walk with pride, don't show the hurt inside, because the pain will soon be gone. When you dream big.
And how big are your dreams? From the dreams of youth to the ambitions of adulthood, wherever you are on your journey, starting a career, building a family, growing a business, or planning your future, we are here for your journey. So keep dreaming big. Make them bigger than the ocean. Every goal deserves the chance to flourish, and with hard work, dedication, and a strong belief in yourself, listen, the seed of greatness is within reach. So trust in the journey and understand that Fidelity Bank is with you every step of the way. Together, let's turn your dreams into reality. We're here for your journey. Believe with us. Fidelity Bank is believing with us to bring you the news review. Richard Alaska is here with Francisca Kakrafosing.
When you dream.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Yeah.
Ça va?
Oh, ça va très bien. Et vous?
Je vais bien, merci.
These days you are trying my French, but I hope I'm doing well.
Oh, I think you're doing well.
Yeah.
But don't assume that means I can speak fluent French.
Okay. I was going to say la saison de pluie, la saison de sèche, but since you have ended it at Sava, I'll end it there. Sky, good morning.
Good morning.
You see, we are in the rainy season, so la saison le pluie.
Okay.
So you bring the umbrella. Yes.
That's a response.
Precisely. You're on point. Good morning.
What's
going on? I don't also know what's going on. Let's just jump into the
Yes, I greet them.
Okay, they respond.
Celebrate Talk with Fiti.
So.
And Honorable Jifago.
Sky is on a different wavelength this morning. Chronicle newspaper this morning.
Because we are told that there's a new, what do you call it?
What is that?
Modern market.
Oh, it's on the way.
Yes.
With money from China.
Yeah, from money from China.
So Aflao Kalala. Okay.
And so, I greet the people of my constituency.
We respond to you.
Yes, and we hope that this project will be done in good time.
Yes.
and a modern market will find its way to Aflao.
Brilliant.
So that all our mothers, our sisters, our aunties, our uncles will go there and do boja boja no kuda ada kutukwama alaba mujanya domole. So we celebrate the government for making that bold effort to borrow, or I don't know what, I mean, all kinds of things are being said, but I think there's some agreement between Ghana and China to get that money to us. And
the Chronicle newspaper.
So it's important.
We
important. So
understand.
Kudos to the government. We need more.
We appreciate
Yes, we need the road between Denu and the Ho to be fixed. Because yes, that's the World Bank. So when the ways
every road must be fixed and wait,
why? I talk for everybody all the time, so I can't talk for my people.
No, we agree with you. We agree.
Yes. So I'm saying that yes, other places will be built. Well, being built.
Well noted.
Noted. The road from Denu to Ho should be built. Yes. Proper road connecting the southern part of the Volta region
part of the big
to the northern part of the Volta region.
Do it.
So yes, commendations to the government, but we need more.
Chronicle newspaper.
Certainly. I'll start with the Chronicle newspaper. Front page stories. Bailiff jailed 4 years for forging judge's signature. Also, how Adidome ritual killing was plotted and executed. Pictures with, I think, some of the accused persons on the front page of the Chronicle newspaper.
Okay, let me take you to the Daily Guide for this morning. Ablekuma North election rerun. Court rejects injunction against EC. Also on the front page, we are told reduce forest market intervention. That's the IMF telling the government. Mohammed's LGBTQ plus abstention worrying. That's coming in from an MPP member of parliament. And 6 nabbed over ritual murder and alleged serial killings in the Volta region.
Okay.
And Sim Majoli live in Sim Majoli. Do you know
Sim Majoli or something? I think it's a play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sima Jolly. Yes. Okay. That's okay. Yeah. It's live in theater on August 9.
Yeah. Daily Graphic this morning. Natural gas supply to increase on Sunday. Measure to stabilize power sector is in place. This is John Jinapo speaking. And President commiserates with the U.S. government on Texas flooding. That came earlier. Report illegal gold dealers for reward. President Mahama at inauguration of Gold Board Task Force. And Trade Ministry holds national dialogue on first agri-business policy. Government releases $4 billion to pay road contractors. That's been reaffirmed here on Daily Graphic Thursday edition.
Yes, and the New Republic has on its front page Kwehu Chieftaincy Tussle. Dasibra Ekuyamwa Ejipon II reaffirmed as Kwehu Manhini. 24-hour security requested as tensions mount in Kwehu. Other stories. Bombshell. Tokono drags nation to ECOWAS court over sacking bid. NPP's Ablekuma North dream crashed. Court green lights rerun. Parties panic. Also, China dashes Ghana $30 million. Mahama directs use of funds for Aflao market redevelopment. To his excitement.
Yes.
So is it a gift or is it a loan?
Well,
we'll get into the details from page 2. But if you go to page 11, on the front page, they are headlining: Government hosts high-level agribusiness forum to boost industrial growth.
We will take our share of the national cake. We will. Daybreak newspaper says this morning, fake dollar notes. U.S. Embassy National Security collaborate on how to investigate and get to the bottom of that particular matter. Also, the front page this morning, GPHA begins 24-hour operations. That's great news. And the Chief of Staff is increasingly looking very presidential. There's a photograph of him here, Julius Debra in blue suit, and he read a speech on behalf of the president and says government vows to combat piracy.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll go to the Daily Democrat. ENP defends $100 million Azuma mine deal. Details on pages 3, 5, and 11.
Okay.
Other stories. Babayara Sports Stadium set for major government overhaul. Ebuakwa South MP signs MOU with UK University to expand educational opportunities, and Mahama champions share industry transformation for Ghana's growth.
Let me take you to the Hawk newspaper. The big story says Meteo boss caught in $878,000 weather kit deal. Sole source deal for needless airport system stinks of fraud, according to insiders. Also on the front page this morning, revoked GRA recruits fight back, say dismissals were unfair and politically driven. Also on the front page this morning, Araba, that is they're referring to the Chief Justice, ditches Ghana's courts, runs to ECOWAS. Suspended Chief Justice takes Republic to Nigeria after crime file over removal process. I'm not so sure about the use of the word ditches there, because the cases that she's sent to the local courts are still before the court. She's not abandoned them.
Right. Very well.
A bit dramatic. And okay, so just quick one still with the Daily Democrat at the top right corner. GPHA begins full 24-hour operations at Tema and Takrady ports in response to presidential directive.
Okay.
And let me take you finally to the overseer for this morning. Mahama fulfills pledge, nominates Sakbaraku, Suparu, and three others as deputy ministers, and Mohammed Adam Suparu, MP for Sisala West, is here on the front page. And then also NDC to sack party executives in government, really, and a number of photographs are here on the front page of the overseer. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is also speaking here. Government didn't support LGBT plus rights, a Blackwell on UN abstention claims, and some of the stories here on the front page.
So I'll take you online quickly. English, a man from suspected robbers killed 21-year-old Momo vendor. Very sad story here on the citynewsroom.com. ADB set for recapitalization in 2026. This is a two-forcing. There will be no nationwide blackout on July 13. This is the Energy Ministry clarifying. And Bright Simmons accuses ENP of misleading public over black voter gold deal. There is more on that on Point of View. If you missed it, go on our YouTube channel Point of View and you get more. $367 million IMF disbursement hits Bank of Ghana account. Hooray! Ablekuma North, we won't contest an election we've already won, NPP insists. And Hohoi residents felt scammed by Ameu. This is Chakpo claiming. On the National Cathedral, we are told the project has not been abandoned. The board has been clarifying. And the CEO of the National Ambulance Service has been sacked, we understand. If you go to channel1news.com, no nationwide power outage on July 13. Energy Ministry explains. Bright Simmons raises transparency concerns over $100 million black voter gold deal. EC yet to communicate to us on Ablekuma North rerun. This is NPP. Mahama nominates final batch of deputy ministers. That's come up as well. And government is denying backing LGBTQ plus rights after UN vote backlash. That's still making the rounds. And there's a story here that says Suhini says EC's conduct threatens Ghana's democratic integrity. Let me take you to my journal online. On Ablekuma North rerun, NPP isn't our competitor, they are participants. This is Mustafa Bande. Mahama Sachs Ambulance Service CEO Nuhu Zakaria comes with his photograph here. 3 18-year-olds jailed for 10 years each after brutal Kumasi robbery. And we are told there's a Chinese national and Ghanaian driver. They have been shot dead at Galamsey site in Subri in Kwanta. Sad story coming from that quarters. And elsewhere, Russia's summer push in Ukraine targets 3 fronts but faces 10 resistance. I want to bring you this one. Trump promised 200 trade deals. Has made 3. Trump praises good English of Liberian president, prompting criticism across Africa. Basically, when he heard the Liberian president speak, he was impressed that he could speak English. People are upset about that. If you go to allafrica.com, Ramaphosa slams Trump's 30% tariff on South Africa. Kenya's Ruto comes out in full force as calls for his ouster go, and dozens reported killed during Kenya's Sabasaba protests. Gentlemen, let's settle for the details.
Okay, so let me take you
and
to...
lady.
I thought you wanted to hear about the 30
Oh, yeah. No, yes, that's exactly what I
So
want.
we are starting from Aflao,
so
right?
let's go to page
Applause,
2
Alan.
of the New Republic. China dashes Ghana $30 million. Mahama directs use of funds for Aflao market redevelopment.
Yay!
Okay, so details. Ghana has secured a $30 million grant from the government of the People's Republic of China, with President John Mahama directing that the funds be used to redevelop the Aflao market into a modern trading hub.
Beautiful.
The decision aligns with a key campaign promise he made during the 2024 general elections.
Thank you.
The announcement was made by Ghana's Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, who also serves as Member of Parliament for North Tong, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa. Taking to his social media platform, Mr. Ablakwa confirmed that the signing of the grant agreement had taken place on July 7, 2025 at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Accra. According to the minister, he signed the agreement on behalf of GOG, while the Chinese ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Tong Defa, signed on behalf of the Chinese government. Mr. Ablakwa noted that the disbursement of the grant was made possible following the express instruction of President Mahama, who remains committed to delivering on key infrastructure pledges that directly impact the daily lives of Ghanaians. So the Aflao redevelopment is not just a promise, but a strategic investment aimed at transforming.
So what are the timelines for this
Aflao
project, and what is its scope? Are those details
Those
in the
details
paper?
are not captured in the
Not yet.
paper. I'm sure we'll get
We'll
that.
look forward to that.
Well, we commend that heavily, but Charlie, we should.
We want the timeline.
Yeah, because we don't
And the
want that.
scope of
Oh,
the
they say the
project.
money entered.
Accountability.
It's in the national port, and we can't find it. Please, with that money, we have to ring fence it
Straight.
and we have to protect it.
Straight.
In fact, I will take it myself to Aflao.
True.
So we'll keep it there. We'll be using it small to build a thing. Anyway, let me take you to page 12 of the Ghanaian Times. A related story talking about money.
Yeah.
World Share Expo. Government, we are told, is targeting 614 million US dollars in revenue, according to Dr. Utokuno. And the story by Cynthia Asampana says government says it intends to get more than double the country's share revenue from the current 118 million US dollars to about 614 million US dollars within the next few years. Now, this would be achieved by increasing recovery of share fruit from the current 150,000 metric tons to about 400,000 metric tons in the shortest possible time. The Director of Presidential Initiatives in Agriculture and Agribusiness, Dr. Peter Boama Utokuno, who announced this during the launch of the second edition of the World Share Expo in Accra yesterday, said the country only recovered between 130,000 and 150,000 metric tons of share nut, accounting for some 40% of what is produced annually in the country. And it goes on to provide some additional details, but we need to do this and even add value to them.
Absolutely.
So that we can make
I understand we still collect share from the wild, so
Yes.
it's not something we are deliberately cultivating. So
yes,
hopefully there will be plans to looking into mass production of share.
But it
and
takes some time to
value
actually for the
addition.
trees to grow, right?
It really does.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Grow in
the
wild,
crop research
perhaps.
people know what to do to actually fast track
Looks
its
like
growth and all of that.
Okay,
how that
so
goes.
let me take you then to page 2 of the Chronicle. High Court dismisses injunction application against EC over Ablikuma North rerun. An Accra High Court, presided over by Justice Ali Baba Baturi, has dismissed an ex-party motion filed by the New Patriotic Party parliamentary candidate Ekrio Uswefriye, seeking an interim injunction to halt the Electoral Commission of Ghana from conducting a rerun in 19 polling stations in the Ablekuma North constituency, which was scheduled for July 11, 2025. Now, the applicant, represented by lead counsel Gary Nimakomafo, with legal support from Nana Benyin Akon, Nana Befi Yeboah, and Emily Ekriye Mensa, prayed the court to restrain the EC for a period of 10 days to allow all parties to be served with an application on notice. The motion was based on allegations that the EC's decision to rerun elections in 19 polling stations was in violation of a subsisting High Court order dated January 4, 2025. According to counsel, the January 4 court order referred extensively in the proceedings and found on page 17 of Exhibit AF. And this is quite long. I think I'll just summarize. It's essentially, they were saying that the earlier court decision that the 3 polling stations. There should be
collated.
collation
Yes.
at the 3 polling stations.
And the results declared.
And the results declared is subsistent. And so the argument of the MPP was that there should be an interim injunction so that can happen.
Yeah, that's right.
But the court gave a different decision and saying that on the balance of convenience, which will favor the EC, they dismissed the application.
It's something that perhaps we should look into further because we don't know how that is going to impact what the Electoral Commission intends to do, because the MPP says they will not be part of it. And people are predicting all kinds of things. I think it's important that the people of that constituency do have their member of parliament, but the processes must be such as to allow everybody to say, look, we accept the outcome no matter who is announced the winner or the loser.
Right.
That said, though, let me take you to another court matter. If you go to page 3 of the Ghanaian Times, there's a story there that says $2 million SkyTrain financial loss. The full trial is expected to start on July 23. It has nothing to do with me. The story is by Malik Suleimana, and it says the High Court in Accra will on July 23 commence with proceedings in the $2 million SkyTrain financial loss case against Professor Christopher Mayao Kumfi and Solomon Asamoah, former board chairman and CEO of the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, respectively. Now, on June 24, the Office of the Attorney General told the court that it would invite 8 witnesses to testify against the accused persons. Now, earlier, the prosecution said it is planning to call 12 witnesses during proceedings on June 24. It goes on to provide some other additional details.
Let me tell you about the National Cathedral project. We are told it has not been abandoned. The board is clarifying. Abigail Arthur is writing for Citi Newsroom that the board of directors of the National Cathedral of Ghana has dismissed reports suggesting that the state allocated site for the National Cathedral project is being repurposed into a cultural convention center. You know, the government has said they were not going to continue the project. They were going to repurpose it into the cultural convention center. Now, the board is saying that the cathedral project has not been abandoned, nor has there been any official decision to convert the site into a cultural convention center. So that's what's coming from that angle, and so we will look forward to the details. Executive Director of the project, Dr. Paul Opoku Mensah, he's been making these revelations, so we look forward to that. But the Ministry of Energy says there will be no nationwide blackout on July 13. Remember earlier reports that quoted the minister as saying that on Sunday we'll see some significant power outage. The Ministry of Energy and Green Transition has dismissed that report, and they are saying that that's not what's going to happen. In fact, there is a quote here by Richmond Roxon speaking on Eyewitness News yesterday. He says, I've seen some misreporting from some media houses that there will be a nationwide blackout. That is not what the minister said. That is inaccurate. It is falsehood. The minister said that because of that, that is the ENI, the gas, they talked about some shutdown by ENI to increase gas production. So he's saying that because of that, there's a possibility that there may be some interruptions in power supply, but it does not mean that there will be nationwide power outage come Sunday. So that's some clarification for you. Go about your business freely, knowing that there's not going to be nationwide power outage.
So another major story that's in the headlines has to do with government voting or Ghana's representative at the UN voting over this LGBTQ matter, and it's still very much in the news because the member of parliament for the Okaikwe Central, according to the Daily Guide newspaper, Patrick Yaobama, has raised serious concerns about Ghana's abstention from a crucial vote at the United Nations Human Rights Council, describing it as worrying signal of the Mahama administration's indecision on a culturally sensitive issue. Now, Ghana abstained during the Council's 59th session on Monday, July 7, 2025, in a vote to renew the mandate of the independent expert on protection against violence and discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity. Now, out of the participation nations, 29 voted in favor of the renewal of the mandate, whereas 15 voted against, while Ghana was one of only 3 countries that abstained. Now, Mr. Boama, who serves on Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee, said the Mahama-led government failed to show leadership on the issue that, in his view, goes beyond foreign policy and touches on Ghana's cultural and constitutional values. Now, the Ministry for
Foreign
Affairs has
Yeah.
since issued a statement on the subject matter,
Yeah.
saying that the characterization of the matter is not as
Accurate.
is. Yeah, so if you go to the Overseer newspaper page 3 of the newspaper, Ghana didn't support LGBTQ plus rights, according to the ministry. Now, Minister for Foreign Affairs Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa has dismissed reports alleging that Ghana compromised its stance on LGBTQ plus issues by abstaining from a recent United Nations vote. And a statement issued by the ministry on Wednesday, July 9, 2025, Mr. Ablakwa clarified that the motion before the UN was not a vote on homosexuality or LGBTQ rights, but rather on renewal of the mandate for an independent expert on the protection of individuals against violence and discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity. Now, according to the minister, Ghana's abstention was consistent with the country's long-standing human rights commitments and constitutional provisions, not an endorsement of LGBT class, whatever.
Sky, let me bring your attention and Kakra. English, a month from suspected. In English, a month we are told suspected robbers have killed 21-year-old Momo vendor. 21-year-old mobile money vendor Desmond Ajah was shot and killed by suspected armed robbers at Quarters Junction, a suburb of English Amanfo in the Gansalt municipality on the evening of Wednesday, July 9. This is just last night. Now, Desmond was reportedly returning home from his shop around 7 p.m. when he was ambushed and shot multiple times by unidentified gunmen. He was rushed to the English Amanfo Polyclinic but later died while receiving treatment. Eyewitness Ruben Kumo, who spoke to Citi News, described Desmond as a well-known figure in the community and recounted his final interaction with him. It's a very, very sad development. The mobile money vendor shot and killed by unknown gunmen suspected to be robbers. We do not know whether or not they made away with some cash, but we're told the case has been reported to the police, and we are hoping that investigations will be carried out and justice will be served eventually.
Yes, and I'll bring you a similar story, how Adidome ritual killing was plotted and executed. I think we carried this in the newspapers yesterday.
Yeah.
The police investigation into the ritual murder at Adidome in the central Tongu district of the Volta region has revealed a shocking motive behind the gruesome killing. The Chronicle newspaper, which has been tiptoeing behind crack detectives on the beat, is privy to information that suspect Wisdom Hedido allegedly orchestrated the murder of Nelson Ayena, as reported by the Chronicle on Tuesday this week. According to sources, the suspected the deceased to be chasing Augustina Fiawoyipe, a young woman fetish priestess who is also a suspect in the case. The plot unfolded when the fetish priest Noah Glo allegedly requested human body parts from Wisdom and offered an amount of 7,000 Ghana cedis. Our intelligence source, who pleaded anonymity, stated that Wisdom then saw it as an opportunity to eliminate his suspected rival, that's Nelson Ayena. And we know the police are investigating that matter, but I'm staying with the Chronicle newspaper for this story. Bailiff jailed 4 years for forging judge's signature. And reports Her Honor Basilia Eje Teria has sentenced Kojo Budu Jackson, a 38-year-old private bailiff, to 4 years in prison after he changed his plea from not guilty to guilty in a forgery case involving judicial documents. The prosecution, led by DSP Emmanuel Nyamiche, revealed in court that Jackson forged a judicial document, a district court order for a certificate of divorce, bearing the forged signature of His Worship KB Frimpong, a former magistrate of the Ejiso District Court. Jackson was charged under count 1, forgery of judicial documents, contrary to section 1581 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29 as amended. According to brief facts presented by the Ghana Police Service, they received intelligence in June 2024 indicating that the accused and his accomplices were on the run, and he was subsequently arrested and put before the court.
Right. Thank you, Kakra. Thank you, Sky. That was the news review.
My buddy, when you wake up in the morning and you know the money calling, oh, you go work, but you know it's out your side. If I believe with if I hold my hand and believe, oh, cause you know I did your side. And when you dream, no say I did for you. And when you hustle every day, many wanna go. Anything you do, I did for you. Many want. If I believe I did your side, fidelity. If I believe with us, fidelity. If I know I did your side, fidelity.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Ah, go me. Now what time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I don't change my car. It be the same right. It be the fuel where I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mindset be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you hand my gobe inside? I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small. Go. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Latte is here with the breakfast edition of the City Business News, brought to you by MTN and EcoBank. Good morning, Latte.
Good morning, Caleb. Hello to you out there. This is the breakfast edition of City Business News on 97.3 City FM, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil and EcoBank. Our headlines this morning: Citi to gain, reserves to go up, and economy to recover more as $367 million IMF disbursement hits Bank of Ghana's account. Coming up also, Bright Simmons hits hard at ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development over financing support to engineers and planners for Black Volta Gold project, citing due diligence and corporate governance breaches by the bank. Plus 10 billion cedis disbursed as loans to MSMEs in 2024 by the Ghana Association of Savings and Loans Companies. I am Neat Latte here with the details. First up, the country's macroeconomic recovery has received a fresh boost following the disbursement of $367 million by the International Monetary Fund as the fifth tranche of Ghana's ongoing 3-year, $3 billion extended credit facility. It follows the successful completion of the fourth review of the IMF program. The money has officially been credited to the Bank of Ghana's account, but what will it be used for and the impact thereof? The funds which were received on Wednesday will support the country's macroeconomic recovery and increase foreign reserves. More specifically, this latest disbursement is expected to strengthen Ghana's external buffers, stabilize the cedi, and help government meet critical balance of payments needs, including external obligations. It forms part of the $3 billion IMF program agreed upon in 2023 to restore debt sustainability and accelerate economic reforms. Periodically, Ghana undergoes reviews to assess fiscal, structural, and financial progress as it eyes rebuilding macroeconomic resilience and returning to growth. Already, Finance Minister Dr. Kasayel Atoforsen has said Ghana has so far exceeded expectations under the IMF program, a development which has boosted both local and international confidence in the economy. Though the disbursement will support budget operations, some economists are urging government to invest the funds more strategically, particularly in sectors like agriculture and the private sector, to drive long-term growth. Isn't it a good time to take you to the forex market, where the dollar is trading at 12 cedis 40 pesos, whereas the British pound at 17 cedis, and the euro could be sold to you at 14 Cedi 60 pesos. Mind you, these are rates being offered by some forex bureaus in the capital and not the interbank rates published by the Bank of Ghana. Now, Vice President of Imani Africa, Bryce Simons, has hit hard at the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development for proceeding to provide financing support for the acquisition of the Black Volta Gold project by engineers and planners, despite the fact that the asset in question is a subject of legal dispute before the International Chamber of Commerce. The $100 million financing agreement has come under scrutiny following growing concerns over the true ownership of the project after the signing ceremony held last Monday. Ibera Capital, the Australian funders of Azuma Resources Ghana, is challenging the legitimacy of the transaction, insisting that engineers and planners has no rightful claim to the project. Speaking on the point of view with Bernard Avle on Channel 1 TV, Bryce Simons claimed that the bank signed off the facility without the necessary board resolution, which raises questions about the due diligence and governance process of the bank.
The EBIT, before this event, I have seen copies of documents sent to them. You know, that unknown to them has leaked as well. And we just don't want to, it's not everything that leaks in copy document, just blast all over. That shows that EBIT was aware that there was a dispute over the asset. Which serious bank, forget about multinational banks or multilateral banks, even better, gets a document like that telling you there's a dispute and doesn't pause and say, okay, let me talk to these people. My information, there's one gentleman for Azuma in this country who spoke to somebody else in the media, and I have a copy of the transcript, which suggests that when they wrote to that entity, to EBIT, they didn't even bother to respond. And up to date, they have not bothered to respond. If you're a serious bank and you want to fund an asset, and the owner tells you I'm not selling the asset, you don't dispute that they're owners, because they own the company. They are the only ones who have invested money to get the company to where it is.
Vice President of Imani Africa, Bryce Simons. In more business stories this morning, the savings and loan sector disbursed over 12 million loans to MSMEs in 2024 alone, amounting to a total value of 10.66 billion Ghana cedis. That's according to the Ghana Association of Savings and Loans Companies. Speaking at the association's 15th annual general meeting here in Accra, Chief Executive Officer Trinebo Akudu-Abuachi said this is proof the sector is promoting financial inclusion and economic growth.
Our focus is on the micro, the small, and the medium enterprises that operate in Ghana. And actually the households, we are not leaving them behind. That is the consumer loans, we are not leaving them behind. But we want to tell everybody that come continue to do business with your preferred savings and loans companies. And for that matter, whenever you have a challenge, go to your savings and loans company and discuss with them, and they are ready to listen to you to make your business improve and do better. For us, if you look at the savings and loans companies, some of our members actually have single digits MPL rates, and this is very commendable.
You heard CEO of the Ghana Association of Savings and Loans Companies, Trinebo Akudu-Abuachi. Government has inaugurated a new 9-member board of directors for the National Investment Bank (NIB) to reposition the state-owned financial institution. The newly constituted board is chaired by Frank Edu Jr., the former managing director of Cal Bank. The board is expected to play a key role in reshaping operational efficiency and financial sustainability of NIB at a time of ongoing structural reforms.
The inauguration of NIB's new board comes alongside a major government plan to recapitalize the struggling state-owned bank. Finance Minister Dr. Atuforsen revealed that full details of the plan will be outlined in the upcoming mid-year budget review, calling it a strategic move to restore NIB's financial health. He also acknowledged past political interference in the bank's operations and stressed that ongoing reforms aim to ensure greater independence and professionalism under the new leadership. The board includes new Managing Director Dr. Doliwua Awushi, Abdul Malik Seidu Zakaria, and members Ebenezer Kweku Ado, Dr. Mercy Na Aku Ofe Kranting, Dr. Shani Bashiru, Max George Kobina, Dr. Kwesi Achim Apia Kubi, and Dr. Alfred Atukwe Botri.
That was a report by Citi Business News' Netile Neti Ajaho. In a related development, former CEO of Dalex Finance, Ken Thompson, has been named chairman of the newly constituted board of directors for the Agricultural Development Bank (ADB). The announcement was made during the official inauguration of the board by Finance Minister Dr. Kasayla Toforsin, who also disclosed government's plans to significantly recapitalize ADB in 2026. The expected capital injection will, among other things, improve the bank's ability to support primary producers, agribusinesses and key segments along the agricultural value chain. And talk of agric, let me now take you to the sector, because the poultry farmers are casting doubts on the viability of the government's much talked about in Koko Nkete project, which is expected to be launched at the end of July. The initiative, the government says, is to slash poultry product prices over the next 2 years by reducing Ghana's heavy dependence on imports and integrate over 55,000 households into local poultry production. But players in the industry are not convinced. Management Committee Chairman of the Greater Accra Poultry Farmers Association, Kwame Intimdodu, tells Citi Business News the government's strategy may need rethinking to yield the intended results. He warned that without a more pragmatic approach, the project could struggle to deliver meaningful impact in terms of affordability and sustainability.
If we want to tackle the issue of poultry, we must start from the ground. Day one, we need maize. What is the volume that we need? If we have to reduce about 400,000 tons of chicken that we import every year, we can calculate easily how much feed that's broken into maize, soya, all that. We can get all that figure, and then we target how to raise, to cultivate these crops or raw materials to produce, to give us the volume that we need to sustain.
Kwame Intimdodu is the Management Committee Chair of the Greater Accra Poultry Farmers Association. More on agri, because government is making a strong case for the practical adoption of research findings from scientific institutions such as the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, to advance its agricultural transformation agenda, integrating scientific innovations into mainstream agriculture, and according to government, will help improve productivity, enhance food security, and boost market competitiveness, which are key for long-term national development. Deputy Minister of Food and Agriculture John Dumelo made the remarks at the Agribusiness Launchpad and Accelerator program organized by Impact Food Hub. And that's it for the breakfast edition of Citi Business News on 97.3 Citi FM. My name is Neat Lati. Do have a good business day.
Charlie, where are you?
Boss man, I'm at the bank.
Really? But your car is in front of your house.
Bro, my bank on my phone, Charlie.
Oh, how?
EcoBank, bro. With EcoBank mobile app, I can do everything, anywhere, anytime. Listen, I just checked my account balance, paid Ahmed's school fees, and sent money to my grandma at Walwale.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Masa, just download the EcoBank mobile app from the Google Play Store or the App Store, or dial *770# and be your own bank manager.
Manager.
Whether to pay bills or fees, to check account statements, send money across Ghana, abroad, and more, EcoBank mobile app has got it covered. EcoBank Mobile, making everyday people live everyday lives the EcoBank way. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
Hello, Madam Eunice. Good morning.
Good morning, dear.
Please, I'm following up on my order.
The dispatch will bring it, eh? Don't worry.
Hey, Madam, it's been 4 days. Aden, is that how you do business?
Oh, young lady, relax. The pressure is too much.
As for today, dear, I must get my package. Oh. Hello, Madam. Hello. Hey, she has hung up on me, and I don't even know her and where her shop is. Oh, Erade.
Oh, sister, never send e-cash to any vendor you do not know or whose authenticity you have not confirmed. Davida, always make sure to confirm details with the vendor when engaging in online payments. Also, remember to make payments of your orders on delivery to avoid being scammed.
MTN.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Thursdays are special. You get 25% bonus on your first data bundle purchase of the day when you bundle on my MTN app or you use star 138 hash. Don't forget that there is more when you do this. You get free extra movie tickets when you pay with Momo at Silver Bed Cinemas at the Accra and West Hills malls. This also happens at the Kumasi Mall as well. Free extra tickets, so your movie dates are set. So set your reminders, bundle on my MTN or star 138 hash. Make the best of your 25% first data bundle discount. Visit the cinemas, use Momo and get free extra movie tickets on MTN's Yellow Thursday. From Thursday, let's talk about every day. We face different emergencies, police, fire, medical, you name it. But many people don't know the emergency numbers. Here is a money emergency number you don't want to forget. Star 770 hash. Star 770 hash is EcoBank's money emergency number that comes to your rescue, gives you instant access to loans, fund transfer, utility payments, airtime, data purchase, you name it. Even without data, you're good to go. So there's no need to panic when you find yourself in any money emergency. EcoBank will always come to your rescue. Dial star 770 hash now for solutions to your money emergencies. EcoBank is the Pan-African bank.
I did my day since Tuesday. I did my day since Tuesday. Shilling Billy.
Are you on the road? Where are you headed? How do you want your engine to feel today? Confident, protected, ready to perform? That's how we like it. Now let's talk about Shell V-Power. Shell V-Power with Dynaflex technology is specially formulated to clean and protect your engine, giving it the boost it needs, designed to remove performance-robbing deposits so that your engine performs at its best. So feel unbeatable because the best choice just feels right. Feel the feeling with Shell V-Power. Shell go well. Listen, it's raining. You'll be shocked some taps are not running. But if you don't have the right storage tank, you'll be in trouble. Go for Polytank, my friend. They've been around for 30 years. They are trusted by all generations. Guaranteed quality is what you get when you buy Polytank. The price is the same no matter where. The price is the same across the country. So no matter where you buy it at Polytank partner shops. So no matter where you buy it in the country, if you go to a Polytank partner shop, it's the same price. And no matter the size you get, durability is always assured. Go for quality. The caution is that we do not request for Momo payments online. Let's talk about financial peace. That's only possible with Lesheho Don't Come campaign. Life comes with challenges, but with Lesheho, you don't have to face them alone. We've reduced our interest rates dramatically for you, so whether it's for education, rent, or unexpected expense, we've got the right loan to meet your needs. Simply WhatsApp or call Nana 02700 4799 02700 4733. Let's make life easier together. Act now before the offer ends. T's and C's apply. Lesheho, let's improve life.
Tell me what I know for you for you. Otto, you, me and you like 1 and 2. Mr. Grenabu, share you see say mandamu. So you they chase my boo. Make sure say you know kung fu.
Edwin Kwalkofi is in with kickoff sports bulletin on the breakfast show.
Barcola keeping it alive. Oh, that's it. Good night, good luck. Gonzalo Ramos seals Paris Saint-Germain's place in the FIFA Club World Cup final. They've been head, shoulders, top hat, the whole lot. And a tribute to Diogo Jota.
Well, PSG dismantle Real Madrid's Galacticos with a 4-goal masterclass as Fabian Ruiz backs a brilliant brace and a dominant display. We'll bring you more from the Club World Cup in our bulletin kickoff, which is powered by Shell. Shell go well, Politangana, and Lesheho. Let's improve life. Well, this is Kickoff, and I am Edwin Kwakofi. We start with the Minister for Sports and Recreation, Kofi Adams, who has conducted an inspection tour of the Babayara Sports Stadium and the Ninehin Sports Complex in the Ashanti region to assess the current state of both facilities. This visit comes in the wake of ongoing concerns about the Babayara Stadium, which has not hosted an international fixture since Ghana's match against Angola in September 2024. The venue was flagged by the Confederation of African Football over technical deficiencies, including poor pitch conditions. Citi Sports Ashanti regional correspondent Tofik Mohammed reports.
Since Ghana played against Angola in September 2024, the Babayara Sports Stadium has not hosted any international match due to technical infractions such as unfit pitch conditions cited by the Confederation of African Football (CAF). Today, the Minister for Sports and Recreation, Kofi Edi Adams, inspected the current state of the Babayara Sports Stadium. Key among areas he inspected includes the changing rooms for both home and away teams, floor lights, dugout, the mid-zone area, and other areas which needs immediate renovations. He vowed to ensure the critical parts of the stadium are fixed.
We will take the report. So critically, the machine to pump the water, because the pitch is critical. The safe zone, if we have to get clearance from CAF, we have to do something about the safe zone immediately, so fans cannot in any way have access to the players or to see them. That must be avoided. So yeah, so if we look at condemning all these and roofing that portion, it is better to roof than to condemn this whole area, because it will be loss of revenue.
On the issue of alcoholic beverages not being advertised during sporting activities, the minister stated that the ministry will engage the Food and Drugs Authority to resolve that issue.
Food and Drugs Authority on this, because once we are doing that, the very young ones, we don't want to watch these sponsors alcoholic beverages being advertised during sporting activities or show, are watching DSTV that shows all kinds of alcoholic beverages that are sponsoring the UEFA leagues and what have you. So we are looking at it to see how we can really resolve that issue.
At the Inehine Sports Complex, the minister stated that he is not happy about the state of the facility, but will ensure its renovations.
Guinea Gold Stars qualified for the continental level, and they came to me. The first venue they mentioned, if it were in order, was this stadium facility or the resource center, youth resource center. It means that if it had been completed, you can imagine how the Inayini community would benefit.
That was Sports and Recreation Minister Kofi Adams ending a report by Citi Sports' Ashanti regional correspondent Tofik Mohammed. Meanwhile, the Director General of the National Sports Authority, Yaw Ampofo-Ankra, says there's still a lot of work to be done at the Babayara Stadium. He noted that with enough time and full autonomy, the NSA can deliver the necessary improvements to meet international standards.
Since the last inspection in 2024, where the Babayara was not deemed suitable, did not pass, the grade for Category A matches, there hasn't been any other inspections. And so I think we should be very clear on that. Hopefully, by the time or before the inspectors come, it will be, but I can't promise, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and we need time to do it well. So once the necessary logistics, funds, whatever it is that we need is made available, we'll definitely attack or tackle that problem and ensure that Asante Kotoko and BBN Gold Stars get their place. But officially, they have not written yet to the National Sports Authority indicating where they want to play. Perhaps when they do write to the National Sports Authority, we can also officially respond and then go about exactly having a timetable. However, even if they haven't written, we still have to make sure that that venue is readied for international matches.
Well, Jan Pofuankra also dismissed claims that Ghana stadiums are under too much pressure from frequent use.
A modern stadium across the world, they're supposed to have a lot of activity. That's why they're built, but it's got to be done well and it's got to protect the infrastructure. So for Accra, let me give you a quick example. We had to halt all matches being played on the pitch because green grass technology advised that we should, pause and allow the pitch to breathe, to resuscitate and for them to do their maintenance work in order to have the green, lush.
That was NSA boss Jan Pofuankra. Let's move to the Black Queens. An award-winning South African journalist Mpumi Mainsi says the Black Queens must raise their game if they hope to advance from the group stage at the 2025 WAFCON.
Ghana missed out on the previous WAFCON. So they had lost in the qualifiers in favor of Nigeria. So it's almost like it's a team that's trying to find their feet in this continental showpiece. I wasn't surprised that they struggled against Banyana Banyana. They are back to also remind themselves as to what is it that they can offer when it comes to African football.
She's also praised CAF's prize money package for the 2025 WAFCON, describing it as a major boost for the women's game in Africa.
Kudos to CAF, the amount that they're willing to give the winners of the championship, it is decent money. A big raise from the previous WAFCON. That goes to show that CAF is taking women's football seriously.
That was South African journalist Mpumi Mainsi. To the Club World Cup, and Real Madrid head coach Xabi Alonso says the side were simply outplayed after a 4-0 thrashing by PSG in the Club World Cup semi-final. Alonso admits the performance was below expectations, but remains confident the team is on the right path.
We have not been the last ones to face such a good team, no? I think that since February, they are in a top moment, and today we have faced one of the best teams in the world, and let's see what happens in the final, but they have shown at a very good level, and we want to be there, but for sure it will take time.
That was Real Madrid boss Xabi Alonso. Now let's hear from PSG boss Luis Enrique, who's speaking ahead of the final against Chelsea on Sunday.
Well, we are going to try one more step against a good team like Chelsea. They did it great and they performed the whole competition, and now it's time for us to prepare that, try to recover, and almost there. We want to make history in our club and take some holidays.
That was PSG boss Luis Enrique. Now let's hear from Gareth Bale, who's a Real Madrid legend, on who he expects to win the final on Sunday.
I think the one thing Chelsea have to do is they have the youth on their team, but again, PSG have been so good, it's hard to see past them. I'm sure John will say otherwise and he'll come up with his prediction. But Chelsea, for sure, they have a chance. They have a great team, they have a young team, they have a great manager, they're playing good football. At the end of the day, a final is one game, anything can happen on the day. Could be a sending off, anything can happen. So I'm sure Chelsea will still believe, but I think PSG are going to be strong favourites.
That was former Real Madrid star Gareth Bale. And finally, Novak Djokovic sets up a mouth-watering Wimbledon semi-final against world number one Jannik Sinner after coming through a tricky encounter against Flavio Cobolli. Seven-time champion Djokovic maneuvered past the Italian's 22nd seed 6-7, 6-2, 7-5, 6-4 to reach a 14th semi-final as SW17. It came after Italy's Sinner put aside any discomfort from an elbow injury to beat American 10th seed Ben Shelton 7-6, 6-4, 6-4. And that's the latest in the world of sport. For more on all these stories, visit citysportsonline.com. Kickoff is powered by Shell Go Well, Politan Ghana, and Lesheho. Let's improve life. I am Edwin Kwakofi. The City Breakfast Show with Bernard Avle continues.
services, innovative financial solutions. We deliver on our promise, cause we are number one. Let's share go, we improve your life. Let's share go, let's share go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Even when you're stuck with nothing, come to let's share go. No matter your situation, come to let's share go. Let's share go, we improve your life. Let's share go, hey, let's share go, hey, let's share go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Let's share go, we improve your life. Papa no no ankasa. Polytech is everywhere, durable and authentic. Stronger brand you can trust. Polytech, we get some more Rambo and get some more super. And the Polytech, we did for Papa no no, Papa no no, Papa no no, Papa no no, no, Papa no no ankasa. Polytech, the original, always the best.
Do you ever wonder how your car's engine is doing as you drive?
Not often.
Does it feel confident and protected, or is it tired and struggling?
I have a busy schedule, so I leave matters of my engine to Shell V-Power. With Shell V-Power, you can feel confident because it is the best ever fuel designed for performance and efficiency. Shell V-Power removes performance-robbing deposits, so you can feel protected.
Fill up with Shell V-Power at a Shell service station near you. Feel confidence, feel protection, and feel performance over and over again with Shell V-Power. Fuel the feeling with Shell V-Power. Go well.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
More Cerelac for your city, more goodness for your baby. What are we talking about? The new 300-gram Cerelac wheat pouch is the same great Cerelac you love, now in a convenient 300-gram pouch for easy refilling of your Cerelac tin. Get the new 300-gram Cerelac wheat pouch today to refill, save, and smile. More goodness, less cost. Cerelac, care for them, count on us. This advert is FDA approved.
Charlie, Chairman is still not here. What at all could be the issue? Calm down. I'm sure you'll be here soon. Oh, guys. Sorry I'm late. Koti bab me for road. Sake of my insurance expire. Some long issue, Charlie.
Chairman Pan. Hey, you make Koti bab you sake of you forget to renew your car insurance when you can get your car insurance sticker instantly on Hubtel. And best of all, you can set a reminder to renew. Simple matter. Just install the app, enter your car number, and oh la la! Your instant insurance sticker is there.
Oh, really? Make I do am now before I forget. But Edemu, Charlie, see. Edemu, insurance sticker need demu one time. I can even renew it every month. Wow. Charlie, as for this one today, as usual, the sitting is on me.
Visit hubtel.com/app to download your Hubtel app and set a reminder to renew your car insurance today. Hubtel is everything you.
When the pain is too much, don't know what else to do. So hunam ya wuya, na wunya wunya. Rapping all, we'll take the pain away. Rapping all, bema wuya unajai.
Rapinol is what you need. Rapinol will relieve you of all aches and pain in your body. Rheumatic pain, menstrual pain, body pain, toothaches, and other feverish conditions. Rapinol is a quality product from Danex Itin Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. Not suitable for children below 16 years old, asthmatic, and ulcer patients. This advert is FDA approved.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Unleash
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
It's just an illusion. And almost confusion. It's just an illusion. It's just an illusion. And almost confusion. It's just an illusion.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Never sure exactly what I'll find. Only in my dreams I'll turn you on. Here for just a moment, then you're gone. It's just an illusion.
7:37 on the City Breakfast Show. This is Bernard Avle with the team. Couple of quick birthday requests coming through, and then we'll jump into something. So I am in two minds about this thing, this issue of $30 million for a market at Aflao from China. And I know you are very passionate about the topic, but I'll ask you to allow me 5 minutes later to do a short pro-con analysis on it, if you may. So I'm not doing against. I don't want to pour sand in your gari at all, but I feel like there are a number of things there we need to think through carefully if we want to have sustainable development. But today is a very popular day for birthdays. Welcome to the fourth floor of God's grace, favor and divine speed, my sweetest darling wife, Patience Abena Asantewa Ewuku of Fidelis Pharmacy, Okanshi. From your husband and children, Drumi and Adepa. Much love. Happy birthday to Mrs. Dorcas Osafo Setre, Team Lead, Star Assurance Ghana, Broker Unit. You're such a beautiful and amazing wife, and the best mother our kids could have asked for. Your love and dedication for the family mean everything to us. A woman who makes our house a home. You are the heart of the family, and we love you more than words can say. Have a great and memorable day. From your husband, Benny Osafo Setre, and the children, Lynette, Lucette, and Leonel. All of Mary, Mother of Good Counsel. Everybody wants to give their kids names with rhymes. Happy birthday to the love of my life, Solomon Manteo, CSO, Stanbic Bank, Ghana. From your wife and 3 boys, we love you more than words can express. To Roland Edem Nomeshi Jr. of Rising Soul School, Gulf City, Tema, may you grow in grace, strength, wisdom, and excel in everything you do. Wishing Brian Papo of SOS Heman Minor School, Tema. A happy 13th birthday. May God bless you. May you shine among your peers. May He grant you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. With love from your mommy, Gloria, Papo, Daddy, Oscar, and your siblings, Birch and Kayla. Or is it Birch? Happy birthday to Ezekiel Agbetiame of the Audit Assurance Department. Ezekiel Agbetiame. They will say Agbetiame Ezekiel. Priscilla Pia of the Tax Legal Department of Deloitte, from your country managing partner Daniel Kojo Usu and all staff. Ezekiel Agbetiame. Please read out this birthday dedication to William Echampong, the finance manager of Gold Coast Food, Herbs and Spices, Sankofa Natural Spices. He's a big man. Bro, the message is very long, so I'll just say happy birthday, Mr. Achampong, finance manager, Gold Coast Food, Herbs and Spices. The message was very nice and long. I haven't eaten yet, so I don't want to read too much.
Well, it's coming in from the wife, the loving wife and children, and the entire Gold Coast Food, Herbs and Spices family.
Yeah.
So they are joining everybody who knows him to celebrate him, Mr. William Achampong, who is the finance manager at Gold Coast Food, Herbs and Spices.
Then finally, a big happy birthday, Charles Usu Esquire, as you climb another floor in life. Wishing you the best from Kofi Eisia Boaje to Charles Ousu Esquire. Yeah, the messages are always nice to hear. People, it's a very popular day to be born, actually. So, congrats to all the 10th July people. So, I'll come to the market issue shortly. But I just want to remind you of the literacy challenge. The topic for the essay is basically, in not less than 600 words, discuss the effects of climate change on agriculture in Ghana. What challenges do these effects create for individuals, families, communities, and the nation? And then suggest practical solutions to help all Ghanaians mitigate these challenges. Now, this essay competition is for people aged between ages 10 and 15. It's inclusive. So if you are, 11, did I say 10? 11 and 15, forgive me. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All inclusive. Now, this is level 1 of a literacy challenge that also includes an aptitude test and a quiz competition for a cash prize of 10,000 cedis, a glitzy trophy, and bragging rights as the most outstanding all-round student. For more details, call 0205-973-973. The literacy challenge is powered by Citi FM and supported by Channel 1 TV and sponsored by Belmu and GB Assessment. A few more birthday requests, Kai, if you can help me.
Okay, so this one says, happy birthday to Roland Edem Nomashi Jr. of Rising Soul School at Gulf City in Tema. May you grow in grace, strength, wisdom, and excel in everything that you do, from your parents, Mr. and Mrs. Nomashi, and your siblings, Elom, Enam, and Edinam. And this one says, please help me wish Masia Adowa of the University of Ghana, Legon, the TF hostels, and to celebrate her birthday today. God bless you and make you stay beautiful and full of life as you are today. It's coming in from your mom, Mabel, and Megan, your sister, all in Tema. And this one from Frank in Kaswa says, happy birthday to Mr. Mensah of Startright Schools. You are the head, a success, and more than a conqueror. May the heavens continue to shine grace over you. Enjoy your new age gracefully. And this one coming in says, please help me wish my wife, Mrs. Benedicta Nkegbe, is a name I know very much. You are the dynamics in my music, the piece that completes the puzzle and the string that holds the chords. You are such an amazing wife and mother. May God's divine favor go ahead of you in all you do. Happy birthday, Mrs. from your husband, Godwin, and son, Ethan Nkegbe.
Just wanted to highlight a story I saw earlier as well on the High Street Journal. I think it came in yesterday and says that with the higher oil prices, where's the story? Beautiful story. I think it's a yesterday story. So it says Africa's refining gap Africa's refining gap. And I just wanted to highlight a couple of points in the story. Caleb's yesterday's High Street Journal first story, if you can read it for me. I think it's a very important story because basically saying oil prices are doing well, oil production is increasing on the continent, but so too is the importation of fuel. There's a big problem there. The refining capacity of American countries is very low. And, you know, I was watching, I think, Bloomberg News, and President Trump was speaking to 5 African leaders and talking about his interest in rare earth minerals and pushing the fact that American companies will come and develop the mines and they'll build trains, rails, so that the mineral will be exported
in their raw form.
You see, you know, and I asked myself, when will African leaders one day wake up and say, you know what, this is crap, this doesn't make any sense? Do you understand? It's almost like you need some resources, like you need money, or you need some things, some railway. So somebody comes and offers you a rail line or a road or infrastructure, and then takes possession of your mine. And it's happening in many, many parts of the continent. So he takes possession of your mine, and then he mines it, and then he exports it on the same rail line that he created for you, and then he pays royalties to you, and you argue about fiscal regime. So all your arguments are about, oh, is he paying 20% or 30%? Am I getting the money? But what you need to actually develop the mine, which is the capital, and the what do you call it? The technology, you've not developed it. You can go to the oil sector as well. It's the same thing, right? So Ghana is a net importer of fuel. Even though we produce crude, we don't own half of it because allegedly we don't have the resources, the money, and the technology to drill it. So companies come and help us to do it. The nation owns like 30% or whatever. And that even the small amount that we produce, we can't refine it and use for our own energy security. So we have to export it raw, and then BDCs go and buy finished product and we use it. So I'm asking myself, so is this going to be the same way forever? When one day we say, okay, it's okay. You know, maybe read the story for me, Caleb. It doesn't make sense to me.
So Africa's refining gap exposed as crude exports rise, but fuel imports persist. Despite large reserves and rising production, limited downstream capacity continues to constrain Africa's oil value chain, Afri-Exim Bank reports. So Isaac Kofi Trainer Mau writes for the High Street Journal. He says that Africa remains heavily reliant on fuel imports despite being one of the world's major oil producing regions, a reflection of deep-seated structural challenges in the continent's downstream energy sector. That's the central concern in the Afri-Exim Bank July 2025 commodity market update, which highlights infrastructural bottlenecks, capacity constraints, and underinvestments as key factors holding back Africa's refining ambitions. The report shows that West African crude exports rose 9% month on month in May 2025, reaching 3.56 million barrels per day. Yet, even as production and exports increase, the continent's limited refining infrastructure means a large portion of refined petroleum products still comes from overseas, so refinery projects struggle to meet regional needs. Although Africa is expanding its refining footprints, existing capacity remains insufficient. The report points to long-standing gaps in infrastructure, particularly aging pipelines and refineries built in the 1970s and 80s, which are increasingly incompatible with modern industrial needs and environmental standards. The report names several major refinery projects supported by Afri-Exim Bank, including the Dangote refinery in Nigeria, that is 650,000 barrels per day capacity. The Port Harcourt refinery refurbishment, 250,000 barrels per day. Angola's Lobito and Cabinda refineries combined, that's 260,000 BPD.
Barrels per day.
Yes, Cote d'Ivoire's SIR expansion, backed by over $6.5 billion in planned investment. If you go to Uganda's upstream and midstream infrastructure tied to the Telenga, Kingfisher, and EACOP pipeline projects, is represented nearly $7 billion in total oil sector investments. Now, in Nigeria, we're talking about high exports but still dependent. So despite being a key exporter, Nigeria continues to face domestic shortfalls. In May, its crude exports to the United States reached a 6-year high of 364,000 barrels per day, attributed to temporary shutdowns at the Dangote refinery, which diverted domestic supply toward foreign markets. In a parallel development, the report notes that Dangote refinery is importing U.S. crude to sustain operations during the restart phase.
Look at that.
The facility is expected to take delivery of 5 million barrels of WTI crude in July, sourced via global traders Vitol, Soka, and Glencore. Now, structural bottlenecks that are undermining intra-African trade. AfriExim flags Africa's limited intra-regional energy networks as a persistent challenge. These gaps, which include outdated transport infrastructure and fragmented national policies, continue to limit the integration of energy markets under the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA, in the framework. Quote, Africa's oil potential is vast but disconnected, the report states, calling for harmonized infrastructure investments and improved regional coordination. Now, the bank also points to ongoing production losses, particularly in Nigeria, where up to 400,000 barrels per day are lost daily due to theft, vandalism, and operational inefficiencies.
400,000 barrels a day lost.
Répétez encore. The bank also points to ongoing production losses, particularly in Nigeria, where up to 400,000 barrels per day are lost daily due to theft, vandalism, and operational inefficiencies. So this is the outlook for investments needed to align output with capacity. While Africa's crude output is projected to remain strong in the near term, the report underscores the need to align production with local refining capacity and regional trade flows. Without such alignments, countries risk continuing to export raw materials only to import refined products at higher costs and under tighter supply conditions. AfriExim Bank, through its growing oil infrastructure finance portfolio, is pushing to change that narrative, backing refineries, pipelines, and storage facilities that could reposition African nations from exporters of raw crude to suppliers of finished fuels and petrochemicals. The July 2025 report presents a clear case. Africa's oil sector cannot rely on upstream growth alone. Closing the refining gap is critical not just for energy security, but for unlocking broader industrial and economic gains. So without that shift, Africa's energy-rich nations will remain vulnerable to external price shocks and global supply chain volatility.
So, there's a lot of things happening here. Just a few thoughts around this. So, AfriExim obviously has seen the light and recognizes the need to support strategic investments like this. But, even global rating agencies are giving AfriExim a lot of problems. And for me, the way the system has been set up, we need to do so many things to be able to get the capital and the technology we need to develop. All right. So long as you are the raw material basket of the world, it is in people's interest for you, and it is in it's people's interest for you to remain where you are, because you will provide the raw, whether it's bauxite or gold or crude, for somebody to add value to it. I saw a slide yesterday. A friend of mine posted, I'm on a platform where they do tax discussions, right? Okay. And I'm saying many things, but to make sense in a bit. They posted an exam for A-level economics, all right? And the A-level economics is a British exam. They posted the top 3 producers of cocoa in the world, all right? And then they posted the top 3 producers of chocolate in the world. And it was such a funny difference. So apparently, Cote d'Ivoire is number 1, Ghana is number 2, I think there was also Ecuador and I think Brazil or something in the top 4 of cocoa producers in the world. Top 4 producers of chocolate in the world: Germany, Netherlands, Belgium. So it's the same model. So what is true for chocolate is true for crude, is true for bauxite, is true for everything. So clearly we have a two-pronged problem. We don't have the capital and the technology to do anything. Now this brings me to my main point. So whether it's for America or China or Japan or EU, when they give you development aid, you need to figure out how to tap both their money and their technology. So now let me come to the market. Okay, this is a very controversial point. I am saying that fine, China can build a market for us in Aflao. But I feel like that's not really what we need. I feel like it suggests to, and again, I haven't read the details. They've given, we've given ourselves, we've made a political promise to build a market, and the Chinese will provide the funding to do it. So they'll probably bring their contractors to build a market for you. I am saying that what we actually need from China is cheaper money and technology to help us add value to our raw materials. So I'll give you an example. We have Tor, which we've allowed to become almost comatose. The Chinese have sponsored a refinery called Cento. I don't know what discussions went on for them to put up a refinery in Ghana. I would have thought that if that amount of money were available for a refinery of that size in Ghana, there should have been some linkages to our own oil refinery. That's number one. Number two, government of Ghana could have said, maybe we are interested in being we want to equity partners in this your refinery, which is such a great idea. So we are going to give you land, vast amounts of lands in Tema to build a refinery. It's a great refinery, you employ people. Usually because of politics, it's employed 10,000 people and those things. But what we need is not just the employment. We need the know-how in two ways. We may not have the capital. So government of Ghana can say, okay, we will give you the land for free for 40% equity in the refinery. Okay. Plus, like the way we did Ghana Gas, after a certain period of time, the management and control will come to us so that our people will learn how to do it. You get it? So you can even say that Tor will second people to go and work under these Chinese guys to learn the modern ways of doing oil refinery, so that after 15 years, we can have ownership and then we can repeat the cycle. Do you get it? I think that's what should be done. But what tends to happen is that they will give you a favor. We'll build a road for you, build a market for you, because it will help you get votes. And then you don't, so it's almost like Jacob versus Esau, right? You take the pottage and he gets the birthright. You eat the food for now and be happy to, because, and I'm being careful here because I'm not tying the market to the central thing. But what I'm trying to say is that generally, we tend to want things that are readily consumable because that's what the voters want, versus things that are strategically needed because that's what the economy needs. Can I repeat that? So they can build a market for you, build a school, build a hospital, have a nice show because the voters will clap for you and vote for you. But what we need is to structurally transform. You need to enhance your capacity for refinery. So you can say to the Chinese that let's come up with a complex deal that then your people can learn, because China produces most things better than most people in the world. And they produce it cheaper. It's not just because they are cheaper labor. They actually have better technology. So I was listening to one of the guys at, I think, Microsoft. He was saying that Americans think that we produce these devices in China just because their labor is cheap. He says the quality of technicians I have per capita in China, I can't find that anywhere else. So the guys are pretty good at doing many things. Yes, and so I would say, with what Ablakwa and Co are having access to the Chinese, say that, look, bring us some engineers, come to tech, set up something, and let our people learn the quality. Because you need money and technology. The Chinese can help you with both. But I sense that it's much easier to get them to do
an infrastructure,
symbolic things which can, so build a road for me, You get it? But I'm saying that you can never be developed if all you get is a hospital, a road, or a market. What you actually need is the ability to turn around your resources. And the Chinese are great at doing that. So our development agenda with them, and I don't think they will say no. Because from what I've seen about international diplomacy and things, most of the time it's what you ask for that you get. All right? The Indian Prime Minister came here. India is fantastic at IT.
And pharmaceuticals.
Right? You could say, guys, come and set up a couple of things here. Our people will partner with you, and we are going to make sure that in 6-7 years, they learn. And then you also then let your people know that you are not doing this partner because we want you to learn how they do it. You get it? So, but I don't seem to hear a lot of that. There are sprinkles of that every now and again. But particularly on the China issue. So, Sky, I'm not vandalizing your market. I actually need a market too. Okay? But I know I'm pointing in your Gary. But I think you understand where I'm coming from. That we need more than markets. We need more than simple infrastructure. We need strategic partnership that can help us add value to whether it's share or cashew or cocoa or crude or gold. That's because until we start doing that, we are not really going to be developed.
But you see, I agree with you to a large extent, but there's also a great departure because you can do all of these things you are talking about without leaving the rest undone, as you would favorably say on this particular platform. The reason is that I've heard the government repeatedly talk about, say, they are creating 1 million people who will be experts at coding. That's in the IT world because that's where the world is headed. China is supposed to play some role there because they are actively working on that. If what we read from the government is anything to go by, Huawei and co to play some role in that particular area. The Indians are also to play some role in that. And of course, in the middle is some folks are also supposed to play some role in that particular space. So that area is taken care of. Of course, the Chinese have also been involved in the mining sector and are doing a number of things in that space, adding value, bringing the technology to help us. And they are also assembling vehicles, and also machinery here in Ghana. You know some of these people in the space. And there's technology transfer happening. Maybe you want it in a more pronounced way.
Is it a strategic national policy or is piecemeal? What I'm trying to say is that, let me give you another example. There should be, you should see it in various sectors.
It's happening.
I think it's happening.
Not in a big way.
It's episodic or it's on a case by case basis. So for example, when the Indian Prime Minister came, I did hear them say that they were going to collaborate on certain aspects of
technology.
Yes, but I'm saying that I feel like it should be what drives our engagement with them. So because you see, the thing is that when the Chinese go to anywhere, there's one agenda they have. Right? I don't see an overriding agenda in our partnership with the West or with the Asians. I see a very loose development cooperation, a very loose discussion around aid to trade. But how can you trade when you don't have technology and when you don't have value additional goods? So it's more you are trading your raw stuff to us and we are trading our finished things to you. It's not enough. And those aid to trade agendas are, that's what they say. The question is, I am saying we need to get access to their knowledge and then apply it in a way that makes it cheaper for us to produce. We also need money. So the likes of AfriExim, AFDB and co, we need to have a better conversation about how do you finance this transformation. Okay, and even the whole issue of rating agencies and how when it suits them, they bastardize some of the African development institutions because they want to control how and where you put your money. And I'm saying that African leaders must become more determined to change that. Because people will nobody give you what you ask for. People will give you what you take. You have to, and if you don't, for example, we read about our transportation and the scattered piecemeal approach. Ghana, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, Nigeria. We shouldn't be even having an argument about having a corridor that works. You get it? But you will notice, you go to the border, everybody's behaving like they are from different parts of the world. Meanwhile, in Europe, you can sit in a car from London and drive all the way to Germany. Yeah, but here, every 2 corners you pass. So, and this is a leadership commitment. The leadership of the continent, beyond giving nice speeches at AU, have to begin to understand that if they don't start working together on these matters, we are never going to develop. Because you see, so long, I'll give you a last example. When Trump announced the tariffs, 2 weeks later, Ghana, Minister of Trade, went to meet the US Ambassador. Foreign Affairs Minister went to meet. I think it's a lot of grandstanding. What did the Asians do? ASEAN is not like ECOWAS. They compete against each other. But they held a meeting and decided a strategy to confront Trump, to say, no, we will lose out if we all try and say to the US that I am coming to do a bilateral agreement. So they had a discussion about how to respond collectively to Trump's tariffs, which, by the way, take effect from today. What did African countries do? Did we call Cote d'Ivoire? Did we call Nigeria?
Have been delayed.
Everybody was trying to. I mean, what can you say to America about his tariff that will change anything as one country?
You see, so
I'm coming. So even these 5 people who've gone to meet Trump, Senegal, Guinea-Bissau, I think in another word, they should have said to ECOWAS, look, we are 5 ECOWAS countries in the Sahel region. We are going to meet Trump. What are our collective concerns around security in the region, in addition to whatever we are discussing bilaterally? So they go and say, by the way, if you want to arrest me, there's no problem. ECOWAS is also asking for ABCD. You think twice, oh, wow. So 16 countries, it's not just one, it's not just 5 countries. But now, Senegal, he'll tell you something. He will tell Liberia something. He will tell. So you are not going to, you cannot change anything. And that's our problem. We think that we are so smart that we have to outsmart each other. You have to let Trump know that we are 16 countries. And we have certain common protocols, and there are certain common things we expect.
Yeah, but we don't have a convergence of interest. That's where the problem is.
But that's what I'm telling them to do.
Yeah, but you see, but
no, we actually do.
We do have a
but we don't know.
We're not committed to it.
We have a convergence of interest, but we believe we think that if we pursue our individual interest at the gains of the collective, it will work. So we actually do have because everywhere in the world, they look down on us. Everywhere in the world, our visas don't make any sense. Everywhere in the world, they are deporting us. So our interests are that we don't want to be disrespected. But we think we can solve it as Togo, as Cote d'Ivoire, as Senegal, as Nigeria, as Ghana alone. We don't know that if we don't come together collectively to take a position, nobody's going to respect us. So we have a convergence of interest, but we work against that.
Well, that's one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is to admit that, look, while there's an idea we have as to what we want to be, it would seem that in seeking to enforce that or give life to that, all kinds of things are happening. So, for instance, why would the US be interested in Burkina Faso? Because they say to hell with democracy. And they have turned to China. What do you call it? What's the name? Russia. You go further up north, you see Chad and Mali also doing their own thing. So they would not be interested in what happens there. Of course, they look at Ghana and they say, okay, well, Ghana, what is our position currently? So then they hold back because of certain things that are happening around us. Now, the question you should ask yourself is, why can't we all agree that democracy should be the way to go? And if democracy is the way to go, let us all, 54 nations, if it comes to negotiations as to how trade barriers should be removed, Africa is presenting two negotiators. They represent the collective interest of all 1.3 billion people, and they will negotiate in a way that advances the interests of Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, South Africa, all the countries in Africa. But we don't have.
We're actually saying the same thing. 7 minutes past 8 on the Citi
in
breakfast.
The sense that,
don't worry, I will come back to this. Don't worry. Let me do what I have to do. Let's do tech and social media trends, brought to you by.
It's brought to us by Telecel and First Bank. First Bank is doing something exciting for our little ones this long vacation. They say enroll them in the First Bank Junior Internship Program. They will get to learn about banking hands-on, and it's happening from Monday, July 14 to September 12 this year. Enrollment process is very simple. Sign up your child or ward for the Kids First account. It's designed for children up to 12. Alternatively, sign up for the Me First account. It's crafted for teenagers between 10 to 14. Then you apply for the First Bank Ghana Junior Internship Program, and then they will embark on 5 exciting days of learning experience at any of their branches across the country. You receive a certificate along with products from Gino, Kivo, Top Pharmacy, Awake, Kiki, and Pepsodent, and stand the chance of winning attractive cash cash prizes by excelling in an essay writing competition. To call 0596 921 921 0596 921 921. All the products they will be receiving are proud to be associated with this, together with the Ghana National Council of Private Schools.
Edwin Kwakufe is joining us with the details.
Hello, Bernard. So, following the conversation you had, I checked Aflawo is trending because Ghana has secured a $30 million grant from the Chinese government to construct a modern market in
to build a market.
Bernard, you see, recently we did what do you call it? Agri-fair.
Yes.
The whole idea was to improve upon the experiences of people who go to shop and people who come to sell. If you go to the Aflawo market in this currency, you won't be happy with it. You go to the Denu market, you won't be happy with it. You go to Joje, your hometown, you won't be happy with it. You go to Abo, you won't be happy. You go to Agbozuma, you won't be happy. So we need a modern market work in sort. And if President John Dramani Mahama is making that happen, we should celebrate it. Yes, because Togo,
it's okay. You are taking the guy's time. It's okay. We agree with the market. Just go on.
Okay, so as Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okuchi-Ablakwa has said, a similar grant was secured the last time the NDC was in power to construct the Kotukraba market in Cape Coast. That one also cost $30 million. So people are expressing some reservations about the costs of the project, but I look.
Loan, by the way.
Yeah, that was a loan.
Is it a loan?
Yeah.
It's not that good.
But yours is a grant.
Yeah, this one's a grant. The first one was
Madam, you are confusing me.
From the China
Exim Bank. The grant, there's always something.
You know.
So yeah, the Kotukraba market cost $30 million. The Kejetia market, this according to the Herald, costs over $259 million in the first phase. Just the first phase alone, and an estimated amount of $249 million for the second phase. Yes, so people are defending the project and the costs, and they are saying that it's not just the markets, not just the stalls. There are going to be a school or schools, a police or fire station, and the roads, clinic as well. The roads around it leading to the venue too are going to be renovated, so the cost is justified. But of course, people are not happy. They are saying that we spent, or rather wasted, money on the construction of the National Cathedral. So why is it that we should not be concerned about this project also being abandoned eventually in the future? So those are the complaints from.
I think this is grant money coming in. I think what we should do is to ask the government for further details, the specific scope of the project, and let's police it, because Aflawo, in my view, needs that market. It is close to the border. Many people coming from Nigeria, Benin, the Cameroon who come and buy there. It will bring the economy of that place back to life. Let's invest in that.
Yeah, and people are saying that if it were another place other than Aflawo, would people be complaining about it as much as they are?
Every time they want to give us something.
The people in the Volta region are very happy with it. Yeah, they feel they deserve the project. So that we move away from Ghana, let's head to the United States, where an interesting video is gaining momentum online. It's of the President of the United States, Donald Trump. He met with a number of leaders of African nations, including the President of Liberia, Joseph Boakai. And then he expressed appreciation or admiration, surprise about the English, the kind of English spoken by the Liberian president, and even asked, he said it was wonderful English. Where did he learn? Yes, learn to speak such English.
He was expressing surprise. I think he was expressing admiration. I think we are taking this whole thing out of context. I mean, if you watch,
this is the president of Liberia.
Liberia and America.
Exactly.
Historical colonial.
Exactly. That's one of the things.
He was condescending.
Admirable or surprising that they speak good English.
I think the man, he spoke in context. He said that there are people around the table who couldn't speak as much beautiful, the Queen's language.
Well, some people say it was damage control after he realized that.
I think by now we should know who Trump is and the kinds of things he's likely to say and not say. And I don't think what he said, he said it out of disrespect.
Okay.
With the greatest respect. I don't think if you express admiration for someone's use of the Queen's language in a way you find admirable, I think there shouldn't be any view.
I disagree with you because I think that there's a historical context to it, and my expectation would have been that Trump, as an American president, would have had that in mind before making such comments.
That's fair. We can have that agreement.
Remember how upset the Americans were when the Pope didn't speak English after he was, unveiled and all of that.
I mean, that would be
triggered him.
That's insular.
It triggered them.
So that would be insularity.
Yeah,
but the fact is, what language is generally spoken in the Vatican?
Liberia speaks English. If their president is speaking English, what's this point that you admire his ability to speak English?
I think we are playing into the leftist condemnation of the young man. Let's make progress.
Okay, so the CNN spoke to some Liberian nationals who were unhappy with Trump's comments. The Liberian press official said it was not offensive to them. The White House clarified that the president was just expressing admiration. So various reactions to President Trump there. So to the world of sports, a number of stories. The most important, Ghana's Kudus Mohammed, he's on his way to Tottenham Hotspur. They agreed a £55 million deal with West Ham, and he's on his way. A number of clubs were chasing Kudus, but he had eyes for Tottenham Hotspur. Now he'll play in London, stays in London with Spurs, and also plays in the Champions League as well after they won the Europa League. He also plays in the UEFA Super Cup after they won the Europa League, and they'll play against PSG. And speaking of PSG, they have qualified to the Club World Cup final after a dominant performance against Real Madrid. They will face Chelsea in the final.
You know they say so.
We will contain them.
When you were young, do you play Alikoto?
Yes, I did.
When they say so, do you know what it means?
We will contain them.
So I know what it means to so. Bring your hand like this.
Oh, Gaga.
You get like 4. Charlie, Real Madrid.
So Chelsea among the trends as well with PSG and Real Madrid, but also Ballon d'Or for Ousmane Dembele.
Correct.
People are saying that
if you don't
he deserves the Ballon d'Or at this moment.
We know those people, they have agenda. Last year, it should have been Vinicius. The people, but it's so controversial, because of all the racist things against him and the positions he takes. I think they felt he will weaponize the Ballon d'Or. And for me, it's very sad because he was the best player that time. So if they decide to don't give it to, which is why again celebrities also need to know that their power, they must use it for noble causes. So for example, if Ousmane Dembele wins the Ballon d'Or, if you want to say I take a stand against racism, because if you don't use your privilege to fight for the rest of us, then what's the purpose of the privilege? So if you don't give it to Dembele, I'll do a one-man protest.
At where?
In my house.
Okay, so we'll move to tech news, and a worrying story. An imposter using an artificially generated voice impersonated Secretary of State Marco Rubio and contacted multiple foreign ministers and American politicians. So a diplomatic cable sent on July the 3rd from the department warned that the imposter contacted at least 3 foreign ministers, a U.S. governor and a U.S. member of Congress. The Washington Post.
I hope our foreign minister was not part of this.
I doubt it, otherwise you would have reported it here. So AI has become a major...
A fake... So is it like a video?
Voice module.
I can actually even call you.
Yes.
And you hear maybe...
So hello Sky, this is Marco
Rubio,
right. So the foreign secretary. Oh, how are you doing, sir? I'm very well, thank you.
Yeah, that's right.
Please, the issue we discuss about the away our mind.
Exactly.
Can we move on with this?
Exactly. You have correct conversation in the voice of Bernard.
But so this is different from deep fake.
I have a question.
Yeah, deep fakes are normally...
And the other ways of checking whether you're talking to the real person beyond the voice. For example, is there a phone number they used? Is there a system that you can use to check that this is the real person? Exactly. Did they go through a secretary?
And
I mean, how do you just call? Is leaders, they just call and talk to each other like that?
No, so normally there are protocols that are put in place. So they would have booked a call in advance to tell you that, okay, this call will happen at this time.
So the AI also do that?
So if the person understands how these things work, he will put in place those protocols and ensure.
Or because this administration, you cannot predict them. Maybe the person thought that the foreign secretary just wanted to talk to me.
No.
Because this administration doesn't really follow the rules. No, that's the truth.
Don't do that.
Sky. 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 I'm saying that the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Ghana cannot just pick up his phone and call the Togolese Foreign Affairs Minister. There has to be a protocol. So the people who were victim of this, how did they pick the call and think they were talking to Rubio?
That much detail we did not get. But what I'm saying is, if the person knows how the system works, it is possible to recreate it. That's
AI.
You see, Bernard. So you see,
AI.
these are the excesses of AI. And
AI.
I keep telling you that just as you use fork and knife to eat, other people can weaponize that.
AI.
So the trick is.
I'm not against AI. I'm just giving you fans. AI. He has a whole master's degree in AI. He wants to unleash AI on the unsuspecting public.
So the USA Department says is investigating the incident. At Citi FM and Channel 1 TV, we've also had similar incidents where people have manipulated our videos and posted it saying that it's ours. So I want to share some information.
Yes, please go ahead.
Always check the facial and lip syncing of videos that you watch. Sometimes it's distorted, especially with AI videos. The blinking and facial movements, the blinking is unnatural in these videos. So always watch out for those. And the background noise and distortions. Often the background on AI videos, it's often distorted and you can't see actually what is in the background. So make sure. And finally, just do your due diligence. Usually when we post videos like this, we accompany them with stories and links. Make sure that you find out if the story is actually accurate, or a QR code. Make sure that the story is there before you believe such videos.
Edwin, thank you so much for that amazing segment. That was Tech and Social Media Trends with Edwin Kwakofi.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
You know, listen, guys. One day, an old lady inherited a huge sum of money. Her family worried about how to break the good news to her. They feared that the sudden good news might give her a heart attack. And so they decided the family doctor, who was experienced in delivering such news, should be the one to tell her. And when he did, surprisingly, she smiled. Relieved, he asked, "What are you going to do with all that money?" She replied, "I am going to give you half." The doctor rather had a heart attack. Can you imagine? People are often surprised when we put them first. At First Bank, that's what we do. We put you first. Experience the gold standard of banking with First Bank. Open an account today and enjoy our user-friendly mobile app, quick banking via *894#, convenient shopping with our Visa Prepaid and MasterCard, and more. All designed to serve you better. First Bank. You first.
There is small money, there is big money, and there is too much money. Telecel Too Much Money promo is here. Dial *500# to opt in. In the Telecel Too Much Money promo, you can win 100 Ghana cedis cash in the daily draws, 20,000 Ghana cedis in the weekly draws, and 1.2 million Ghana cedis in the grand draw. That's 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Simply reload airtime to end points to stand a chance to win. Dial *500# or visit the Telecel Play app to opt in now for the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply.
Telecel, connecting energies.
This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Join the conversation on the City Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Myself clear. Yeah, do I make myself clear? Yeah. Then clap your hands like there was a million mosquitoes in here. Jump like you was some crazy ass frontier. Party people, show me how you feeling back there. Do you wanna party boogie? Then get out your chair. The big hand baby came to shake a rare. Call me whatever you want, but don't call me Seth. Black Musketeer, I swear, I do declare. This year definitely my year. So cheer, cause that's all the boys when you wanna hear.
23 minutes past 8. Are you ready to see the future of work in action? Join top HR professionals, tech innovators, and business leaders at the HR Tech Playground 2025, happening Tuesday, 15 July at the Accra International Conference Center from 9 a.m. It's a full-day hands-on expo where cutting-edge technology meets people strategy. Experience live product demos, robots, smart tools, and real-time solutions transforming HR across Africa. Entry is free, but space is limited. Register now at hrfocusevents.com/HR Tech Playground. Or just call 0509-620-2044 for enquiries.
Listen up, guys. When Republic Bank says they are the one for you, they mean they are the ones for you. That's why they've reduced their Citi mortgage interest rate even further to a new low in the teens. That means you can afford to own your dream home or your next one for less. But don't wait. This offer is only available for a limited time, and if you already have a mortgage with your bank, you can switch to Republic Bank and enjoy this exciting deal. Visit any of our branches today or send us an email, myhome@republicghana.com, or call 054-0109-649. That's for Accra. If you're in Kumasi, call 054-0109-901 for more information. Republic Bank, we are the one for you.
Are you ready to unlock the power of artificial intelligence for your business? Discover how AI can help your business to work smarter, move smarter, and serve better. From marketing and sales to customer service and finance. The date is Saturday, 19th July 2025. Venue, IDM Hacho, Accra. From 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and the rate is 1,450 Ghana cedis only. The facilitator is Maximus Ametogo. Join us for the AI Masterclass. Whether you're a business executive, entrepreneur, or just curious about how AI really works, this Masterclass will show you the tools, strategies, and real-world uses of AI that you can apply immediately. Limited spaces available. Register, call, or WhatsApp 0244-767-801. You can also visit www.idm.edu.gh. This event is powered by the Institute of Digital Marketing. Get Translight Solar today and save up to 70% of your electricity bills. Enjoy clean and reliable energy without breaking the bank. Here's the best part. You don't need to pay the full cost upfront. TransSolar is offering an opportunity to own a complete solar system by paying just 30 to 50% of the cost and spreading the rest over a 12 to 36 months period with flexible payments to as low as 1,200 Ghana cedis. Get in touch now for early bird deals and the lowest prices on the market. Visit their website www.translightsolar.com or call 025-604-0838 or 050-424-9229 for free consultation. Translight Solar, wherever there's light, there's Translight.
All right, some comments coming through 054-998-6996. Send us your thoughts. In the meantime, Rose Bank International University College emphasizes practical over theoretical. Acquire real-world skills, access expert career services, and discover global exchange opportunities. Your future starts with Rosebank International College. You can get in touch for admissions at our website riuc.edu.gh or call 030-700-7800. You can also visit our state-of-the-art campus at Opebia House. This is Rosebank International University College.
That's right.
All right, let's talk about Sunrise.
Yes, Sunrise Christian High School is pleased to announce that they've scheduled their 2025-2026 entrance exams in the Greater Accra region. They have modern facilities, passionate teachers, and impressive pass rate from annual WASI candidates of 250. Sunrise has spacious classrooms and dormitories, 700 plus seat auditorium, dedicated dining hall, 16-bed clinic with 2 resident nurses, lawn tennis court, and dedicated standby plant, global standard reverse osmosis water purification system, so your comfort is secured. We are the only private senior high school in Ghana to have made it consistently to the NSMQ and the Sharks quiz competition. Above all, it's a place of discipline, strong Christian values, academic excellence, and leadership. The date for the entrance exam is July 12th, this Saturday at 9 a.m. Centers are Knutsford at East Legon, Accra, and in Tema, Christian Center School, that's in Community 11 in Tema. Register www.sunrise.edu.gh, SON. Now 0244 876 066 is the number to call for assistance. Choose Sunrise, where children grow in the sun.
At Western Villas at Ayi Mensa, our stunning homes redefine elegance. Each home is a masterpiece designed and with precision and love. From swimming pool, gym, playground, beautiful landscape gardens, and private balconies, making every day feel like a retreat. We also have executive plot for sale at McCarthy Hill, strategically located at and offering unforgettable views. With just 5% deposit, you can reserve your space. Contact us today to learn more about our luxury apartment at Ayi Mensa or our executive plot at McCarthy Hill. You can go to westernvillas.com or call 053-650-2295. Here are some comments on the matter of value addition, economic development, and free markets.
Right.
Here's a quick one from a listener. It says, interesting that China is giving Ghana $30 million now being allocated to the flower market. But what's the bigger picture? These so-called free gifts often come with long-term interest behind them. China recently removed tariffs on exports from 53 African countries, including Ghana. While this appears to boost trade, China still runs a massive trade surplus with Africa. These moves are strategic. They help Chinese secure markets, political influence, and economic loyalty, which can have great ripple effects in key border zones like Aflao. So yes, we benefit, but are we thinking strategically about what we are giving in return and how we protect our long-term interest? Are we aligning such deals with our own development goals, trade competitiveness, and industrial growth, or just grateful for the gift? Just worth thinking about how we position ourselves in these partnerships. Infrastructure is good, but we should also push for skills transfer, value addition, and trade terms that actually empower Ghanaian businesses. Otherwise, we risk becoming just another market for other people's strategy. This is exactly what I was saying.
Yeah.
Now somebody has put in very beautiful English.
This one says this market in Aflao thing is just to divert attention from what the Chinese will be doing in the region. They are coming to mine the salt and other opportunities. We are not benefiting from their takeover of Ghana Bauxite, Ghana Manganese, the factories they have set up here to produce tiles and toiletries for West Africa. All they produce gets sold and the proceeds repatriated back to their country. The Chinese are extracting all these minerals to build iron batteries for their green agenda, so they can come and dump their old cars in Africa and continue watching us import refined oil while we, the owners of the oil, are in peace. There's another one here I would bring you shortly. Yes, Bernard, what you're saying is true. That's the way to go. China itself has been going to the US and Europe to learn of new technologies, etc., to establish factories and manufacturing companies. They give their citizens full-time scholarship to study abroad, and they come back home and start production. Partnership and learning from other countries is normal, and that's the way to go. Tafamba David sent that from Kibi. Bernard, well, I said I was in DRC Congo in 2018 and I saw the same agenda. The Chinese signed a contract to mine uranium and rather use the proceeds to construct good roads, which they are doing. But bro, they mine the raw sand and export to China to refine, which looked fine to the Congolese. They are rigging the Congolese in plain sight. That is the same story building up in Ghana. Kojo sent that from York in England. Bernard and team, we are in a situation where, because our education, which was modeled to work as civil servants, has not changed, the day we get our educational system revolutionized to train our minds to be creative instead of just being conformist, is the day we would have solved our problems, as you all talk about. Africa's failure of leadership motivated by selfishness, which makes us see ourselves as individual states rather than having a United States of Africa, is the bane. Every president wants to be king in his own small country. Alex sent that from Suhum. The mentality of the product of Ghana's education system is short-termist by nature. Students are taught to knee-jerk, quick fix issues to temporal gains. For temporal gains, you realize that Ghana's engagement in the international negotiations and contracting always leaves them scratching their heads with instead of looking for win-win agreements. Posterity must always be hedged in our conscience as Ghanaians when we take decisions. Yakubu Ibn Chambers sent that through.
All right, so clearly people seem to agree. So Sky, we are happy with a clinic or hospital or a market or whatever they are building. Let's also link it to certain things. So for example, you have a big market in Aflao. It's a border town.
That's exactly the point I was
So is it going to sell finished products or imported goods? And which Greek enclaves in the Volta region can then find this big Aflao market as their sort of last destination? Okay, so no, I'm basically helping. I'm saying that let's take the market.
Yes.
And let's think of what else we can do to it to use it as a leverage to develop the area.
You see, okay, that's what you should give me the opportunity to explain.
All right.
As we speak, the whole of the Ketu South, Ketu North, and if you go towards the north of the Volta region, these communities along the Volta region's border with Togo are virtually dead economically. Because of two main things. First, the rather irresponsible and long closure of the border, our borders in the name of fighting COVID-19, which virtually killed all kinds of economic activity along the border. If you go into these spaces, you realize that there is so much destitution that is taking roots as a result of the closure of the border. Again, I have been complaining about the road between Denu, Toko areas to the whole, the regional capital of the Volta region, to Ho. Because of the state of that road, economic activity along that whole stretch completely gone. Because people can't sell if the roads are in terrible condition. But you go in, you drive on that road, even if you are using a vehicle that is properly fully nyanya, right? By the time you get out of your vehicle at the end of your journey, your white shirt will turn into something else because dust would have penetrated. The road is in terrible condition and you would have to send your vehicle elsewhere. So drivers are having difficulty. And then also, Bernard, if you go to the markets in these areas,
oh my God,
Bernard, the conditions are terrible. Places where we should be selling fruits, vegetables, and all kinds of, you find that women are doing their own thing close to where they are selling.
Markets are not well built.
Exactly, because they have no washrooms, they have nowhere to keep their kids. All kinds of crazy things happen in these markets. I don't think that our people deserve to be living like this. So what it means is that if this intervention works true to form, you would expect that a modern market will be built there, which will mean that the creative industry that we find there.
By the way, what's a modern market? It will be good to, I actually think, because of your interest in this subject, find some time later to get the design and the way they would build it. Because I feel like it would be very good to use that, if it's a real modern market, to even say that let's find anchor towns across the country and build these model markets. Because for now, when she was talking about Kutokraba, I think they're all different types of markets. With different amounts being spent. And I feel like $30 million, if you multiply that by 10, like 300 million cities. So it's like KJTR kind of level. So
KJTR is around 200 something million times 2.
Cities or dollars?
Dollars.
Hey, that's
phase 2 there.
That's a
okay.
big market.
So this is not that much.
Yeah, but some people take the view that the cost is too much. But we can always ask for the breakdown. And
I wish I had somebody who has built a market before to talk to me about what it means, what it requires. What does a modern market look like? What must it have? What space can it occupy? And it will be useful to know, because don't forget the Ministry of Local Government has also said they are building a market in each district. We don't know whether it's the same scale of market. You know, we need to have a more nuanced understanding of.
The Krabba market, by the way, was Chinese funded, Chinese Exim, and it was $32 million. This was
when was this done?
2016 and 2019.
$32 million.
Yes, please.
Also built by the Chinese.
Yep.
Hey,
no, they funded it. I'm not so sure.
Funded.
They like market power.
You see, Bernard, that is the fact. I mean, we complain every day here about.
To be fair, that's what employs a lot of our people.
Yeah, and so if they are building it in a modern way, why not? Our people deserve it. Now, we can do that, and yet still hold the Chinese accountable where they act in excess of what the rules say they must do. If they are giving you 30 million, United States dollars, that doesn't mean that if you find a Chinese man in the bushes destroying our water bodies, you don't hold him accountable. That is where I depart with the government on the idea of arresting and deporting them. No. There is a principle called equality before the law. The government should not say that because these are foreigners, let's not. No, they oppose this in opposition.
But you also have to, know that. You see, both of the things you are saying are true, but they affect each other. So yes, when somebody is caught committing a crime, he's not above the law. Yeah. But Sky, if every week I pay your child's school fees and come and pick them to school, maybe once or twice at work, I come to work late, or I do some violations. You look upon me with a bit more mercy, because Aloski is a good guy. He's always paying my children's school fees. He's picking them from school. So it's not a gun to your neck. It's just the way it works. So what we are saying is that let's collect the market, but they too, as they give you the market, they will get favor. It may not be Galamsey. It may be other places. It may be other things, and it's just how life works. If people use what they have to create what they want, so you can say what you want about, we should. If you are a minister whose region a $30 million market is built, fulfilling a campaign promise, and people are happy, he's giving you such relief, and it's a grant. He said, "Oh, by the way, minister, there are two companies who need some tax certificate. They've been trying to bring something to the country, but they are struggling. So, in fact, one of the two was there during the launch. He stood next to me. So if we just need to talk to the Minister of Finance that we need some,
hand goes.
then you say, oh, okay, I'll see what I can do. I'm not saying this as happening. I'm just telling you the way life works normally. So it's just normal. So you say, oh, the Chinese have been good to us. Oh, they bought the market for us. What's the matter? Oh, it's just 200. Oh, how many containers? 3. Let me call the GRA boss. That's how it is. And so you see, I'm saying that for them, they are using what they have. So let's use the market with all the things that it comes and use, because it will come with other things. So when we get the market, let's use it to do other things. That's all. You cannot use it. Can you give Jifa Gomashi 10 cedis to build the market? You can't. And maybe when you make your first $1 million. Yes, but until then, we will just hope. But and you yourself know that. Border. You see, I'm just trying to say that for me, we should take the market.
Yes, we will.
But let's not take it just as a market. Let's leverage it and do something which is more lasting.
You see, so
let's even ask them for another facility that can even do 20 markets in 20 border towns, something like that.
I think in principle, both of you are making the same point.
Okay, so help us.
I want to try and answer the question you asked about what's an ultra modern or what's So I'm going back to 2016 when Kotokraba was the big news. Okay, so this is the description that was given to Kotokraba. So maybe we can reasonably make some inferences from that. So what it was supposed to have: 246 lockable shops, 496 stalls, 26 supermarkets, 2 banks, a restaurant, 14 office spaces, a nursery, clinic, fire station, post office.
How many toilets? That's what I want. Because Ansana. Assume Jebabano. Unya toilet. The first requirement of man. Yes. So no, go through. I'm listening. Go to the list. It has how many? You were mentioning them.
So so there's a fire station, post office, butchery,
Butchery.
Cold store,
Cold store,
warehouse,
warehouse.
2-level car parks.
2-level car parks,
with
good.
a total of 186 capacity.
Very good.
There's also improved sanitation. So
yeah,
there's not a list, a number, but there's
sanitation.
Improved sanitation and environment as well, and more space for the traders. So this is the description that was given to the Kotokraba.
I wish they had
time.
elaborated on the improved sanitation and also the size of the market. But 150 cars is solid, pretty solid.
Yes.
So I think every regional capital needs a standardized market like this and more.
Sure.
You know, a lot of the markets, the facilities are not in good shape. They also need renovation. So not just building, but renovate it as well. So Sky, demand for the details on the market, the timeline. Let's police the project, and when they are finished, we will go and commission it. Even if we are not government officials, we now will go and do our media commission because we have done that before. So.
Let's not lose track of our responsibility as citizens too, because the Kotokraba market in recent times is not necessarily in good state. We fail to maintain the state, and there are some tensions or emotions about the distribution of the stalls by the assembly, etc.
Culture of maintenance.
Culture of maintenance is also important, and it will be good to know that if the grant comes in and you get your market, we will learn lessons from the past and properly maintain this ultra-modern market coming to Volta.
I'm told there was a political promise by the NDC to build markets in major border towns.
Okay.
If somebody can check that for me, that means a lot because there are so many border towns. So
yeah, because
we actually have a metrics on the election data which shows you border consistency and how they vote.
And you see, Bernard, when these people come in, they bring in forex. In many ways. It may not be the US dollar necessarily, but they bring in money into our economy. And there are many things, as we are talking about intra-Africa trade, right? This is one of the ways to deepen it. Imagine you, Tekura, you are sending, the things you manufacture here in Accra to Aplau, when maybe you'll be where we've been able to get a stall there. People come from Nigeria, Togo, Benin, and Cameroon and beyond to buy the artifacts that you have on offer there. You get your Naira, you get your CFA franc, or whatever currency they are using to pay you. By so doing, we are boosting the economy of Ghana, the economy of Aplau, the economy of surrounding communities. And you have a lot of people who are also into carpentry. They're producing tables, chairs. They're producing all kinds of things. People are into chai and dye, batik. People are producing farm produce. All of these things. They all will find their way in these markets and possibly sell things that will bring their economy back to life. So I honestly, I've spoken passionately about the state of the economy in these areas, and I think that if the government is committed.
By the way,
what
is there are markets known for different things. So Caleb told me that the Adawaka market is popular for dry fish. There's a yam market in Abobloshi. There's an onion market in the outskirts of Accra. What is the top product of the Aplau market, or should there be one? Can you recommend a product that I believe?
The thing about our area is that you have a mix of things.
Okay.
Although there are areas that you can say, for instance, if you go to Bozume, you say Bonshiba. So when you go there, you are only going to buy goats and related animals. Again, if you go to Denum,
it's a goat market.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'll get cheap goats.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And cats.
No, because I actually like goat.
You like goat?
I like goat.
You find
no, that the hell yeah.
Oh, we too So do you recommend any particular product?
So because we produce a range of things.
All right.
You have people who sell kete, which is the other people call it.
Is there fish? Is a flower fishing area?
Yeah, that's right. It's a coastal community, and you also have the lagoon.
Which part of the southern Volta is the most lucrative for sea fish? As in, where do they catch? Where when you go to Accra, Jamestown, it's a fishing hub. Shama, I think, is another fishing, and I think Apam.
Okay.
So if you come to Volta South, where would you say they get a lot of catch and they are known to be?
The entire coast is productive.
Really?
What I don't know the numbers well enough to say that this place is more viable. What we also do not have is the the landing beach properly so called, like they built for Jamestown.
There's no landing beach there.
There was some effort, like the Mills administration, when they went to China, they said they were bringing in some money to be able to build these things across many of the communities along the coast. But it would seem that in our case, we've not seen so much progress in that area.
So there's no landing beach.
Charlie, the Qatar port that was promised us,
there's a CEO.
There was a CEO appointed,
but there was
nothing happened. You understand? So Bernard, so when
he
you
was
look
CEO
at
of what? Of the signboard.
They say he was a CEO of putting in place.
Because there was a catapult signboard.
Where is Trump on a salary?
No.
It's unfortunate. You see that.
So let's think through this carefully. You're saying, I think it's even not right that we don't know the fishing capacity of our coast in terms of which areas are our most productive. That data should be somewhere.
It will be there somewhere.
That
but
data should be somewhere.
Don't have the number.
That's number one. Number two, the fact that there is no proper landing beach.
Yeah.
You are sure of this?
Oh yeah, I'm sure of this.
From Aplau all the way to Angola.
Proper landing beach. I mean,
to Adan.
No, I know about. No, I know about the entire coast of the 4 constituencies along the
coast,
the Volta region. I'm talking about Ketu South. I'm talking about Keta constituency. I'm talking about what do you call it? Anglo constituency.
And then
those
South Tong.
No, that is not along the coast. So there are 3.
Sogakope doesn't have a coast.
Sogakope?
No. Sogakope, no. If you go further down, then you are going to that.
So Adan. Oh, so after Anglo is Adan.
Yes.
Oh, okay. No, so I just wanted to know, because in the southern Volta, there's also lagoon fish.
Yeah.
And then there's sea fish.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know which town, if I wanted the best fish, cheap fish to buy, is there a town you can mention for me to go on Saturday or Friday or Wednesday to get a lot of good fish?
So that's why I said that. You see,
you haven't been there in a while, so you don't know.
No, I go there often regularly.
Which place has the best fish?
So it depends on what you're looking for.
I'm looking for Akpakalami.
So you see, then it depends.
So a little tilapia.
Okay, so there are 2 classifications. So it depends on the Akpakalami that you want.
The small one.
There's one that you catch from the lagoon. I mean, the lagoon around
with the basket.
Yes, that's right. That area. And then there's one that you catch from the Keta Lagoon, whether it's lagoon or so. Yeah, that's right. So that is also different. There's one that is black.
The small ones.
The black with sort of reddish.
Yeah.
But the one you catch from my mother's area is sort of whitish. You understand? So that akpa is also different. So it depends on what.
By the way, let me say a big thank you to Tropo Farms. They were at the Agri Fair and they brought us tilapia. I don't know if you got yours.
No, I didn't get mine.
Hey.
So you have taken his mother's side, father's side.
Hey,
you see, but today I pray to God, so start confessing.
No, they brought. I was doing something and I was told that Tropo Farms has brought me tilapia.
Okay.
So I arranged for the driver to send it home.
Okay.
They didn't tell me that.
So you appropriated my portion.
No, I don't know.
You don't know. Okay.
So Tropo Farms, thank you for tilapia. So we did some. We want to do tilapia soup.
Yeah, man.
But I think it's a bigger tilapia. It's not the black.
Yeah,
one.
that would not be from that area.
Right. What if I want bovilolo?
Bovilolo, then you have to go.
Sorry, we are mentioning fish that we only have.
So you have to go to the Anyako and Keta areas.
That's
right. Then you go to Afiareningba
to get bovilolo.
Yeah, that's right. Those are the areas.
But what does it look like? This bovilolo.
Bovilolo is, it's small fish. It's like my little finger, and you usually fry to eat kenke. And you can chew to the head and everything. It's whole. It's beautiful. I mean, it's for me for kenke. Kenke. If you want to eat kenke, is that akwakalami? But akwakalami, it has
the bones.
The bone can stick between your teeth, so that's little tilapia fingerlings. Then the bovilolo, I don't know the English name, but it doesn't have too much bone problem. But there's also cassava fish, which is pretty good for kenke. But I don't know what the English name of cassava. The word for cassava fish is.
No, I don't know.
But cassava fish is sea fish, right?
Cassava fish, yes, it must.
Cassava fish is, but bovilolo is sea or lagoon?
No, lagoon. You find it in the
it's.
So if you go to Seva, Kongu, what do you call it? The Keta areas, Azizaji, those areas that are border the lagoon.
But I found the English name for bovilolo.
What's it called?
They say it's Hollandaise fish or knowledge fish.
Knowledge fish.
Yes.
I've never heard of that.
Bovilolo.
It's a beautiful. So what I'm trying to say is that this market can become an anchor for many things.
Yes.
There's a lot of rice farms in Afife. There are big farms around Tajevu. You need to find a way of using the market to do something.
You see,
that's
so,
what I'm just saying.
So
don't just build the market and cut the soil and be happy.
You see, that is why it is important that we build it and build it in Aplao.
I hear you.
Because proximity to the border means that people will come from across the border to come and buy. So imagine all the farmers in Ho, the farmers in Jopi, the farmers in Adaklu, the farmers in, Kogulu, the ones in Koima, the ones in, the Adina areas of this part of our community, Penyi, Georgia, Kogulu. All of these places would have one big market where they can take their things and go and sell. So that, for instance, the likes of Bridget Jogbenuku, who is into Jomi, from the very areas, she can go there, get the women to work,
I think we need to
the thing
appoint
properly,
Sky
and bring it
as an ambassador plenipotentiary for the market project. So he can mobilize support, investment, and discussion around how to use the market as a developer, because he's so passionate.
Ambassador
his mother used to sell fish in a market. Sometimes he will go and sit behind the fish while his mother goes to do Hajiaga. So, like going for quiet practice. So he actually he likes market things. Sometimes he will say, small house and fish. My mother is not there. So I can't, and there was no mobile phone. So he was sitting near the fish. So he's a market boy. So let's read some comments on this.
So Bavilo is also known as Mapo fish, M-A-P-O.
Yeah.
Now, good morning. On the issue of the market, I worked on such a project in the past. Most of the materials and equipment used for the project came from China. The money being given to Ghana is almost all going back to China. They are creating market for their industry. Nothing is free. The full design wasn't even completed, yet the money is said to have finished. The temporary stores on the north side has now become permanent. It's nice to get things from elsewhere, but like was said earlier, if we are not being strategic in our own right, where we will just become a KPI for another country. Kweku sent that from Gbawe. I am happy for the people of Aplau, but let's think about these questions. Besides Diamond Cement, what factories are there to feed the market with products? How many commercial farms do we have there? Are we going to import Chinese products through Tema and Lome to sell there? The devil is in the detail. Kwesi Aqua from Sakomono. Good morning, Bernard and team. Please, take notes. Chinese grants are not grants entirely. There is no free lunch from China. Ike from Enyinam sent that. 3 parties aside the major Joje market, there has been another pending ECOWAS market at Joje on the road to Akanu border. It began during Honorable Avaji's regime. Sky is aware. If you want fish, you need to go to Joje on their market days. The market days rotate every 4 days.
Well, I mean, that you can always get fish in those areas, but Joje is not necessarily the hub.
Don't slander my hometown.
No. I'm
be very careful.
No, you see, if
pick your words carefully.
I know, but if you go to Keta, you want to buy fish. A lot of people from the northern part of the Volta region.
But I know we have more palm oil.
Yeah, that's right. Because of
we have the best gari.
That's right. Because you do a lot of cassava there, and then you get a lot of maize from that community.
So we also need a market. Now, you see where it's a race to the bottom.
Yeah.
She also needs a market. Where's your hometown?
Kotokraba.
No, she has a hometown. Abakrampa. She needs a market. Abakrampa.
No, but they built Kotokraba for you.
Oh, it's far.
No, Bernard, seriously, in our area, there's no modern market. Keta market is in a sorry state. You go to, what they call it, Denu market. It's hopeless. You go to Agbozuma, hopeless. Akati market, there's nothing to write. You go to your place, Joje, Penny, nothing. You go to Ho itself. It's not, you can't be proud of it. Jopi, no. At that club, no, they do the thing by the.
You want a proper market?
Yes. Petue has something that looks like a market, but it's also not proper market. So if they will bring that
more China market,
it has to happen. It has to, and I'm commending President John Dramani.
Yes.
Black one.
Yes.
Egypt kudo to.
They must have a store called Sky Stores. Sky Alley in the market. We'll go and commission this market.
Yeah, we have to.
I'll go and cut the sword myself. I'll invite myself to commission it.
3-town market.
Yes.
All right, a few more comments.
I think Bernard's point is still important. That yes, we set up the infrastructure, but it must be transformation. That's why there's the need for the transfer of technology, of knowledge, and of all that.
Yeah, let's not.
So you get your money.
Let's not just take the product. Let's take the knowledge. Let's take the skills, because to transform a country, you don't just need the physical infrastructure. You need the know-how.
Yes, that's true.
Because don't give me a fish, teach me how to fish. Let's read a few comments. All right. We have a couple of interviews coming up. Interestingly, the Danish ambassador to Ghana is in his last few days, having spent 5 years. I'll be speaking to him about some of the things they did. Don't forget, yesterday we spoke to some guys on some project who said it was sponsored by that embassy.
Yeah.
So we were discussing some of the areas. And it's the same discussion, right? So they will give you something. What do you do with it? That's the point. So statistics, maritime, meteorology, water and sanitation, all kinds of different things. You remember I traveled to Denmark in 2018? Or was it 2019?
Meet the Queen.
Charlie, to interview the Queen. She's actually handed over to somebody else. She's, I think her son has taken over.
Nice.
Yeah, the castle was beautiful. But the place was very cold. Charlie, so
but now when you go, the summer is
I actually read that this is the hottest summer since records started in some cities.
Crazy, right?
Which is weird. You know, we say we don't believe in global warming, but global warming is true.
It's crazy.
And our rainfall has also changed, right? But I was reading somewhere yesterday that Europe is experiencing a very hot summer, extreme temperatures. And the US, the football they are playing, footballers cannot play. It's like, I was told there were some places over 40 degrees Celsius.
So they have cooling machines in the stadium.
40
like ACs blowing water.
Can you imagine?
Cooling breaks.
It's very, very serious. So
I was drinking water like.
The thing about, even if you can deny global warming, but it doesn't deny itself. So it's like God. If you don't believe in him, he's still there. So you can say you don't believe, but that hasn't changed anything. Global warming is very real. So, but we don't believe in global warming. But Charlie, temperature extremities, a lot of weather craziness. Now you can't even plan, and it's all part of the agriculture thing, irrigation as well. So let's leave it here before I open another chapter.
There's another message if you have time.
Yes, let's go there.
Great. So Bernard, good morning. The news of the $30 million secured for a market in Aplau is great news. However, I'm worried this project might become one of those highly inflated ones of the past if measures are not put in place to ensure value for money with the investment. I visited Benin 4 times this year, and you'll be amazed to see dozens of markets built at the same time at relatively cheaper rates. Benin. He sent some pictures that are very lovely. These modern markets are designed using both local and imported materials and are a sight to behold. Benin is actively building modern markets as part of a broader urban development initiative to improve commercial spaces and urban environments. It goes on and on to say that he hopes our leaders will learn from Benin's new example.
One day we should go to Benin, because people keep saying that something's happening in Benin, and it's not just listeners. I keep hearing people say Benin is doing something. Benin. Maybe we should go pay a tour, a courtesy call on that.
Bernard, this is the time to go
Benin.
to Georgia. Get big land and start serious farming project. Because Bernard, I'm seeing a time that will come where Volta region, the Paklawo area,
the bread basket.
It will become because
but even the 24-hour people said it. They said they were going to use the Volta as the food. The thing is, I can't be an absentee farmer. So once you say I should go, it means you want me to stop this work. Because if you are farming and you are not there, they will steal everything.
But we have done our bit.
So you should go and do farming.
Oh yeah, why not, Bernard? We have done our bit.
Let's take a vote.
Do once a week.
Should I leave the show and go and do farming? Caleb, will you take over?
You can still do both. You don't have to.
I can't wake up at 4 a.m. and sit here and be farming. And who will be watering my food for me? No, you can't eat your cake and have it. So
my friend will take over.
Fred.
He's also doing the farming song.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Always busy on the go. Tap the app, you're good to go. Big dreams, little time. There's a boat for you to ride. every single time. While the errands will link up or more, hop in a boat and get out and explore. There's a boat for you to ride. Make moves with boat.
Use code Keep Moving 50 for 50% off your first 3 rides. Download the boat app now.
Make moves with boat.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the game of choices. Listen with rapt attention. Round 1, question 1. Elevator or stairs?
Stairs.
Now the second question. Less than 4 hours or at least 6 hours of sleep at night?
At least 6 hours of sleep.
The last question. Yomi yogurt or...
Yomi yogurt, of course.
Oh, I'm not done.
No need. That's my choice. Yomi yogurt.
Life is full of choices. Always remember that the choices we make today shape our tomorrow. Whether it's a morning start, a midday snack, or a dessert, our delicious Yomi yogurt is here to nourish you. Yummy, a nourishing choice. This advert is FDA approved.
Sunrise Christian High School, one of Ghana's best performing private senior high schools, is pleased to announce the schedule for its 2025-2026 entrance examination in the Greater Accra region. With modern facilities, passionate teachers, and a 92% A1 to 66 WASI pass rate, Sunrise is one of the best places to grow. Sunrise has convenient classrooms and spacious dormitories, a dining hall, and a 700-plus seater auditorium, a system bed clinic with 2 resident nurses, a lawn tennis court, a dedicated 100 kVA generator, and a reverse osmosis water purification system. Above all, Sunrise is a place of discipline, strong Christian values, academic excellence, and leadership development. Entrance exams will take place on Saturday, July 12, 2025 at 2 locations: Nasford University College, East Legon, Accra, and Tema Christian Center School, Tema Community 11. Visit our website www.sunrise.edu.gh. Call us on 0244-876066 or 0241-949-350. You can also visit the school premises in Ho to write the entrance examination. Choose Sunrise, where children grow in the sun.
World number 1 Brown Hire LED TV and home appliances got mega up to 5,000 cities price drop at all Electromat showrooms. First time to shop higher air conditioner, LED TV, refrigerators, washing machine, chest freezer, range of appliances at unbeatable prices on every purchase. Exclusively at showrooms. Rush now while stock lasts. Check our website and social media pages for more details. Electromat, your world of electronics.
On the go, night or day. PBL up is the easiest way. Bank secure, bank with ease. Right at your fingertips, bank is a breeze. PBL app making banking so clear. Anytime, anywhere we're here. Safe, secure, banking for you. PBL app, simple and true.
Welcome to the future of banking. The Prudential Bank mobile app. Bank secure anytime, right from your phone. Access your accounts 24/7. Perform instant transactions. Pay bills, link mobile money wallets, scan and pay with GHQR, manage your cards, make seamless GIP interbank transfers, all with ease. No more banking hours. Take control and app your banking. Experience simple, secure and convenient banking. Download the PBL mobile app now. PBL mobile app. App your banking.
Are you a student in Ghana? Are you 11 to 15 years old? Are you ready to write, think, and analyze your way into hearts and minds and straight to the top? Then it's time for you to get ready for the Literacy Challenge 2025. For level 1, this year's big essay topic is, in not less than 600 words, discuss the effects of climate change on agriculture in Ghana. What challenges do these effects create for individuals, families, communities, and the nation? Suggest practical solutions to help all Ghanaians mitigate these challenges. Your essay must be in your own handwriting. It must be endorsed by a parent or a guardian. Add your full contact details. Deadline, Saturday, 26th July, 2025. Submit entries to the front desk of Channel 1 TV or Citi FM, or mail to P.O. Box GP 14123, across Central. If you make it to level 2 and go on to win level 3, you will win 10,000 Ghana cedis cash, a glitzy trophy, and bragging rights as the most outstanding all-round JHS student in Ghana. So, get writing and show the nation what you've got. For more details, call 0205-973-973. The Literacy Challenge 2025 is powered by Citi FM, supported by Channel 1 TV, and is sponsored by Belmu and GB Assessment.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
8:09, City Breakfast Show. We have a chat now with I want to call him the outgoing ambassador of is it Kingdom?
It is actually a kingdom, yes.
Of Denmark to Ghana, Excellency Tom Noring.
Very good.
Very close.
Very, very close.
5 years of Denmark-Ghana cooperation. Good to see you. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
It's good.
On this nice morning.
Now, you
can... cool morning almost.
For a Danish to say Ghana is cool, that is...
After 5 years in Ghana, cool.
Now clearly you've been... But you came during COVID.
I came actually on the very day that restrictions were lifted on traveling to Ghana, 1st of September, 2020.
God. Wow.
I came on a KLM flight, which was still registered as a repatriation flight. So I had to go into quarantine. 15 minutes before, Portuguese Airlines arrived, and everybody walked freely in the streets.
Wow. So you were quarantined for how many days?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
At my residence, so it was okay.
But we've come a long way, haven't we? 5 years ago, nobody was sure what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But what was your remit when you came in, and what were you thinking? Just talk to me a bit about. Of course, we know what ambassadors do, right? But you are coming into a COVID situation, your first time in Africa.
Yeah.
That must have been.
It was not actually my first time in Africa. I've been traveling on short visits, but first posting definitely in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a bit of a mouthful, and it was a bit of a shock because I had not worked in an African context, and it was a shock because I had a very hard time getting to know people. Not because you're not good at Akwaba and being welcoming, you are very good at that, but because everybody was wearing a mask. So after a long time, and I'm really talking about half a year, I kept meeting people and they kept saying, "Hi, good to see you again." I was saying, who are you? Because there was all these faces that I didn't see. I just saw a lot of masks. Anyway, I think we got through that. And my remit, well, my first big challenge was a professional challenge was that we had decided after 30 years of development cooperation, where we have been one of the largest, although a very small country of less than 6 million people, or just 6 million now, we had decided to phase out our development assistance to Ghana. It had been decided some years before, but it was implemented exactly when I arrived. So my challenge was to manage that situation with a clear wish to maintain a strong relationship between Denmark and Ghana, a strong presence, a high level of activity, but yes, with less donor money, so to speak. And I think we managed that through not least beefing up the commercial side. Very difficult during COVID, but nevertheless possible. So we engaged Danish companies, a broad segment of Danish companies, different sectors, but focused also in activities in Ghana, and I think we've done well there. Also, it fit very well with my personal ambition or view that development aid is necessary, but it's not sustainable. It has to be a bridge. The long-term sustainable relationships are entered into by partners who are equal, in the sense that they both have something at stake. And that is much better when you talk commercial relations, because there you have a company,
Yeah.
maybe another company in this country, in Ghana, or it can be a public entity, but they both enter into this with an investment.
But you do recognize that because the countries are at different stages of development, with different technological capabilities, different financial capabilities, it's a very difficult balancing act to manage that commercial relationship, right?
Very, very true. So it's also wrong to say that you can just phase out all development aid.
Yeah.
You can also say we haven't, because Denmark as such is one of only 4 countries in the world who still live up to the United Nations general goal of giving 0.7% of our GDP in development aid.
Okay.
That we still do. It's just been decided end of last month, that we will continue to do that.
Wow.
That is very positive. Ghana was a specific case because Ghana had reached a different level of economic development, and you had your own plan, Ghana Beyond Aid.
Yeah,
I mean, you did state it very clearly.
Yeah.
But we didn't leave, like Elvis that leaves the building. We didn't leave the building. We stayed. We also stayed because half of our development aid, or somewhere around that, differs from year to year, goes through the multilateral organizations, through the UN. So although you don't see it, when UNFPA, UNICEF, UNDP are active in Ghana, for UNFPA, for instance, a large chunk of that will be Danish money. But it doesn't have a Danish flag, so you wouldn't know. So we're still here, and then we are still here with what we call, and I think that's where we merge what you asked for, that we're different stages of development. So we started something we call strategic sector cooperation in a number of areas. It's not something that we made up here at the embassy in Ghana. It's actually something that we have been focusing on in Denmark, especially in countries where we are phasing out our development aid, but we still feel we should be and can be.
So which are some
engaged.
of the strategic sector cooperation areas that you found most impactful?
Well, I would say we have 4 of them.
Okay.
One of them is very new, so I can't say we've had an impact yet. It's meteorology and climate. We're making good strides, but we're not there yet. If I look at the others we've had, and the one we're phasing out right now is maritime, where we've been very impactful. I don't know if I should get into that, but the port of Tema, the 3rd terminal, the MPS, Meridian Port Service, is actually a Danish investment.
Correct.
Danish and French. $1.5 billion US. Huge container ships coming in and out.
Yeah.
But one of the first things we did when we started our maritime cooperation was to capacity build for these tugboat captains and pilots to ensure that this increased traffic could be managed, and it has been so far. So that's a very, very small but very significant contribution, which benefits both Denmark and Ghana.
Yeah.
Us because we're investors in the port, us because we have one of the largest merchant fleets in the world, one of the largest container shipping companies, Maersk.
So Maersk is Danish?
That's Danish, yes. And the investment in that port is also Maersk investment.
So it makes a lot of sense, right, on the maritime side, because Ghana's port is critical.
It is.
For a lot of what it does.
It is, and this is the most, I dare say, the most modern, paperless, well-functioning, efficient port, maybe in all of the African continent.
Yeah. This is Terminal 3.
Terminal 3, and I believe that this is really what also in the future will be part of making sure that Ghana becomes or stays the gateway to West Africa.
Because the efficiency of the port is critical for many things.
Absolutely.
But water and sanitation has been something I have associated the Danish with for a while. I remember when I traveled to the country, there was a way they use water that was just incredible. Nothing is wasted. And we visited companies that converted wastewater into usable forms. And there were companies at the cutting edge technology of greening there. So just talk to me a bit about the emphasis of the water and sanitation cooperation, and whether there are any programs or projects that you feel made impact.
First of all, I'll say over the years when we had development aid, part of that has also gone into the water sector. That's more traditional development aid.
Yeah.
But then we started a program which is actually between the city of Tema and the second largest city in Denmark, Aarhus, and the water utilities in Denmark. It's Aarhus Water, and here it's Ghana Water. A corporation that focuses on building up capacity and transferring knowledge, technology, know-how to Ghana Water and to Tema as a municipality, and also to very much to the ministries, the relevant ministries involved. And I think we've had a lot of positive results out of that, not only because it has benefited Tema, but it has benefited Ghana in general, because this becomes a role model looking at how can we ensure that you do not have the big losses, for instance, that you have. In Ghana, you have from the point of entry, so to speak, to the consumer, you have a loss of 50 or sometimes more than 50%.
Yeah.
That is costly in terms of what doesn't get to the consumers. It's costly in terms of health issues, but also in terms of money. Simply,
so what did you specifically do? Was it like
but
building new
we're
systems,
down to 5%
training people?
in Denmark. So what we train people in how to do it, how to, very, very basic sometimes, what kind of technology do you need to have in order to make sure that you don't have these leakages? How do you detect the leakages? How do you repair the leakages? What kind of pipes do you put in? And what kind of training and capacity building do you need to ensure that you in the future will have a much more efficient and effective
and have we seen some results?
System. We've seen big results. I think we're moving from the 50% now to aiming at 25%, things like that. Losses, and that is huge when you're talking about Ghana, as so many other African countries that have access to clean and affordable drinking water.
Anything specifically on mining? Of course, the water conversation you cannot be discussed without the issue of the effects of illegal mining and sometimes legal mining on water bodies. Has there been any program or project or any conversation around either reclaiming water bodies or just making sure that water bodies are not polluted?
Well, the conversation is definitely ongoing.
All right.
But the problem is we do not have any activities that are directly aimed at that.
Or technologies that can help reclaim.
We do have companies that could, for instance, deliver technological solutions. Not for the whole problem. The problem is humongous. In 10 years' time, I don't want to think about the consequences. I hope that some of the steps that are being taken will be helpful. It's actually possible with slightly different methods, also for small-scale mining, to make sure that you do not have the pollution that you're seeing today. But the problem is when you're a small-scale miner, whether you're legal or illegal, that difference in cost is huge. It's not huge in the big picture, but it's huge for the individual miner. And I think that's Ghana needs to find, and I think also the government is aware of that, needs to find a way in which they can deal with this. Also dealing with the illegal mining, because it's not only a problem in terms of environment, it's also a problem in terms of legality and how many people are actually making their life based on illegal mining.
Let's talk briefly about statistics. I'm quite intrigued that there was an area of cooperation to do with the Ghana Statistical Service. What was that about?
It had just started when I came here, and I was almost bored, because I remember 100 years when I was at university, the only thing I didn't want to was to get into statistics. It couldn't be more boring. So I said, no, that must be for somebody else. Let somebody do that. But in fact, I've seen the value of statistics through this corporation in a way that I had never thought possible. And especially what the primary focus in our cooperation between Denmark Statistical Service and Ghana Statistical Service has been to include what you call administrative data. That means instead of the census or on top of the census, to have the real-time data in different sectors brought in, because at the end of the day, you do statistics, you do it in order to have a foundation for taking managerial and political decisions. And you cannot do that based on a census that took place maybe 10 years ago. You can't even do it on a census that's 5 years or 3 years ago, because things change all the time. By bringing in administrative data, you ensure that political decisions are taken here and now based on the information that is actual and not, let's say, outlived. And you can think about it. Health, measles outbreaks, you know, that's not reflected in a census from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Schooling, how many kids are dropping out of school after 5 years? Well, it may be very different today than it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You need to have these updated information. That means you have to have all the different agencies and ministries working together to ensure that we actually get this kind of cooperation.
Let's talk finally about the democracy and media and information. I think we benefited from a project, I think through CDD, that had to do with fighting disinformation.
Yes.
Which I'm told was a Danish embassy sponsored project. Why the interest in this aspect of the democratic journey, press freedom, misinformation, disinformation? Why is that critical as an area of cooperation?
Well, it's critical for both countries. I think it's critical for what is our shared values, and that is respect for human rights, to making sure that democracies are actually functioning. So it is very, very critical. But in particular, what we've seen in Ghana, and this particular project came up in the run-up to the last elections, where we said that we see that misinformation, disinformation is increasing in Ghana and all over the African continent. This is something that is increasingly important when you have an election campaign going on, that people who are going to the ballot boxes can trust the information that they're getting from the news, from the politicians, etc. So we thought that was a timely thing to come in with a small project and engage different CSOs as well as media representatives in a dialogue on how can we deal with this. I also have to say, for us, for Danes, we look very much at what we saw happening in Europe, Russia invading Ukraine and brutally taking over a country or part of a country against all international law. But the stories that I saw here in Ghana and other places in the media and in the social media were distorted to a degree where I said, this can't be true. What can we do about it? How can we limit this? And we need to come out and make sure that the media are playing their role as the honest and analytical and critical journalists they should be, digging into the issues and telling the truth, giving the population the real picture and not just passing on distorted information.
We're talking to Tom Nuring, who is the outgoing ambassador of the Kingdom of Denmark to Ghana, reflecting on 5 years in Ghana. It's happened so quickly. Let's just wrap up on two things. Youth, women, anything on those areas? Because I know we're in a big conversation about empowerment, inclusion. Does any of your cooperation focus on that? Anything to talk about?
We've had a lot of activities over these 5 years, dealing with both, but in different ways. In terms of women, we've looked very much at how can we engage young women who are at the end of their studies or starting up small businesses or careers. How do we empower women? Not necessarily for politics, but looking at a fact that, for instance, the parliament has only less than 15% women.
Yep.
How many ministers does this late government have who are women? I think it's 3. It's very few, at least. In cabinet.
Yeah, but they are
senior ministers. There are others, but in senior ministers, this is an issue, because the more women you bring in, the more you break this old system and make sure that you have diversity also when it comes to gender. Youth, equally important, I would say, even more important, because today 60% of Ghana's population are 25, 26 years old.
Below.
But below 25 or younger.
Yeah.
And they are not engaged. They're not involved. They're not included. They're not listened to. Their voices are not heard to a degree that they should be, because they, at the end of the day, whatever the past president, the current president, the future president, and their governments will be doing, they will actually be impacting all these young people. And you need to include them, you need to listen to them, you need to hear their voices when it comes to climate change, when it comes to economy, education, environment. We talked about mining issues before. They will be the ones that will have to decide whether they want to have kids in areas where it will probably be a risk health-wise.
Because of all the health issues. What do you leave Ghana with in terms of reflections on development? You spent 5 years here, an immersive experience from COVID to new elections. Now there's a new government, so you've seen quite a bit. Any quick thoughts on what you leave here with, and even any advice?
Well, I've had the pleasure and privilege to be here for 2 elections. I've actually participated both times in terms as a EU election monitor. I would say the important thing is you have had a very long stretch in Ghana of democracy and democratic, free and fair elections. Yeah, there have been flaws here and there, so they are everywhere in the world. I don't take that seriously. But the problem is what happens in the 4 years in between the 2 elections. Democracy has to be really sound for the whole period. Press freedom we just talked about, but there are other issues. How to ensure that you have solid, good governance in those years in between. And one of the things that I reflect upon after my 5 years here now is that the one problem I couldn't talk about in the past government, because that wasn't really a popular thing, is that corruption is still flourishing. Even more maybe than it was when I came here. That's not good. And it is not just because it costs a lot in terms of money, but it costs equally in terms of trust. People do not trust the authorities, the system, if they see corruption. So this is the key factor, I think, for Ghana to move on, deal with corruption in a bipartisan, open manner and transparent manner, but deal with it. It's not a one party against the other, one president, one minister against the other. This is something that Ghana needs to do. And then I think, and maybe it's a very, very large challenge or hope, that whoever is the leader now and in the future will be a leader with serious visions for the country. And when I say for the country, it's not for the privileged few. It's not those that are entitled and all that, but really a vision for the people, the 34 million people. Because if you have people in the leadership with such visions, then you will have the backing of the people, and you will be able to create the path that I think was the path of Kwame Nkrumah when he started the independent Ghana.
Thank you, and congratulations on 5 successful years, I should say.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So you're leaving the service. You're going into retirement.
I'm going into retirement. I've been now away, traveling 18 and a half years in a row.
Gosh.
And I'm reaching our retirement age at 67. And I think it's time to take this old circus horse and put it out to green pasture.
I thank you for your work and the great times we've discussed and talked about various things you've done. Well done. So hopefully your replacement will tell us what's next for the Denmark-Ghana relationship going forward. Ambassador Tom Nuring, great to have you.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
It's time! You want Want to stand out, level up, and be your best self? Then you need more than vibes.
You need the grace to excel. You need Max Out
2025.
Hosted by KICC Ghana,
Max Out is the ultimate 3-day youth conference.
Connect with like-minded youth
and find answers to your questions in the Word of God. We've got powerful speakers like Pastor Andy and Helen Yorson, Bernard Avile,
and Reverend Prince Nyako, breaking it all down.
Spiritually, mentally, career-wise, and even relationships, nothing is off limits.
It's all happening at KICC Dominion Center on Friday, July 18th at 6:30 p.m.
Saturday, July 19th from 9 a.m. and the grand finale on Sunday, July 20th at 8 a.m. with live ministrations from La Famille Music,
King's Kid, exhibitions, Q&As, and more. This isn't a conference you want to miss.
Follow at KICCGH_Royals on socials for all the gist.
And entry is free. Max Out 2025. Come receive the grace to excel. Let's go.
Hello, excuse me. This Milo pack looks different. I'm seeing support energy release bam on the pack.
Yes, so the support energy release means when you give your kids Milo as part of breakfast, you are giving them energy to help them win at school.
Ah, then I like this one.
Your jams need nourishment and energy. Give them the Milo Energy at breakfast, now with vitamin D that supports energy release to help their daily performance. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo.
This advert is FDA approved.
Charlie, where are you?
Bossman, I'm at the bank.
Really? But your car is in front of your house.
Bro, my bank on my phone, Charlie.
Oh, how?
EcoBank, bro. With EcoBank mobile app, I can do everything, anywhere, anytime. Listen, I just checked my account balance, paid Ahmed's school fees, and sent money to my grandma at Wale.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Massa, just download the EcoBank mobile app from the Google Play Store or the App Store, or dial *770# and be your own bank manager.
Manager.
Whether to pay bills or fees, to check account statements, send money across Ghana, abroad, and more, EcoBank mobile app has got it covered. EcoBank Mobile, making everyday people live everyday lives the EcoBank way. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
It's time to take the next step toward your dreams. Admissions are now open for our October intake at Lancaster University, Ghana. Get ready for a world-class education, global opportunities, and an unforgettable experience in Ghana. For more information, contact us at +233 030 211 8989 or send an email to admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Apply today and begin your journey to success with Lancaster University, Ghana. Your future starts now.
Imagine waking up to serenity every day, surrounded by nature's beauty and luxury at your fingertips in a gated estate you can be proud to call your home. Welcome to Western Villas, located at Ai Mensa, where our stunning homes redefine elegance. At Western Villas, each home is a masterpiece, designed with precision and love. From swimming pool, gym, playground, beautiful landscaped gardens, and private balconies, making every day feel like a retreat. We also have executive plots for sale at McCarthy Hill, strategically located and offer unparalleled views, easy access to amenities, and endless possibilities for executive living. With just 5% deposit, you can reserve your space. Contact us today to learn more about our luxury homes at Ai Mensa or executive plots at McCarthy Hill. Call us now on 0536 502295 or visit www.westernvillas.com for more information.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
.936 City Breakfast Show, looking for a best of flavor in every sip. Discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. Enjoy the classic 5, the cola, the orange, the cocktail, the grapefruit, and the tangerine. Available at your local store. You may also reach us on 0550-032-231. Piva beverages, a taste you will love. Now, have you mastered the art of air ticketing? Then Fairmont Travel and Tours is calling you. For 15 years, we've been Ghana's trusted name in travel. Now we're hiring a pro air ticket booking agent, preferably a female, and the male visa consultant.
Okay.
Age between 30 and 45 to join our dynamic team. Minimum 5 years experience in air ticketing and visa consultancy or related fields. The visa contractor is not one of those experiences we are looking for. We want proper work, not visa contractor. Now, university graduate with a strong marketing background, preferred excellent communication skills, fluent English and French, highly encouraged. Must be a master of major GDS platforms like Sabre, Amadeus, WorldSpan, Travelport, Apollo, and Galileo. If you don't understand what these things are, don't even apply. Because if you don't know what this means, it means you don't know the work. If you live and breathe flight bookings, this is your moment to soar. So call 055-780-2098. That's 055-780-2098. Or send your CV to recruiter at femontravels.com. Femon is F-E-M-O-N, travels spelled normally. So recruiter at femontravels.com.
Right. Now, this is for the parents. If you want to know why your children leave home very neat and return looking very, you know it already, I tell you, it's non-stop action. All the learning and sports burn energy. So those sweat stains, torn uniforms, and dirty shoes, they show you that the kids have been really active. That's why they need nourishment and energy at breakfast. So give them the nutritious Milo every day. Milo contains vitamin D that supports energy release to help their daily performance. Milo Energy to go further is an advert that's FDA approved. Attention people, this is an account information update call from Omni Basic Bank to all our beautiful customers. Kindly proceed to any of our branches or visit our website www.omnibasic.com.gh to update your account records with your Ghana card. For more information, call 0307 086 6000 or 080 010 0790. Have a beautiful day. Omni Basic Bank, not just another bank. So we have great news for you. If you want to travel to South Africa, it's just got easier. Thanks to the visa waiver agreement, Ghanaians can now explore beautiful South Africa without the hassle of a visa. And guess what? South African Airways flies you directly from Accra to Johannesburg, the gateway to unforgettable experiences, from the scenic beauty of Cape Town to glamorous wedding venues and world-class wine farms, vibrant birthday parties, boys and girls getaways, high-end business conferences. South Africa is calling, and you can hear it. If you had to respond to this, if you're planning to travel with your friends, your family, or colleagues as well, then SAA offers special group packages including flights, hotel stays, and guided tours. So call this number now, 0509 256 511. In fact, WhatsApp this number, 0509 256 511. Fly with South African Airways, connecting you directly to unforgettable moments.
So it's 9:40. Gasm has introduced a new bold addition to its cement lineup. It's called EcoCool.
Yeah, man.
And as Ghana's premier cement company, this marks the country's first truly eco-friendly cement. Now, what does it do? Why is it important to have it? And where can you get it? Also, as somewhat Dechi is head of direct sales. Gasm, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Frank. Did I say Owusu?
Yeah.
Oh, forgive me. I've had a long day. Frank entry at Japan. So Oreku.
Yeah.
And Frank entry at Japan, who's the lead marketing and PR, also here. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful. So that's a nice name, EcoCool. What's inspired the name, and what product are we talking about?
Okay. Thank you very much, Bernard. I would want to use this opportunity to say a good morning to your listeners and to say a very good morning to my managing director, Dr. Frank Huber.
Okay.
And Mr. Kwesi Chair, the commercial director, to our cherished distributors.
More shouts.
And cherished direct customers.
Yeah.
Yes, EcoCool is very interesting and it's very personal to me.
Okay.
EcoCool is a top performance eco-friendly cement, which is designed to reduce environmental impact. When I say environmental impacts, the focus is there's been a conversation on climate change and sustainability for a while now. And then it's appropriate that Gasm, being the lead in cement manufacturing in the country, we take up this initiative and take up the lead to make sure that we are having a good product for the average Ghanaian. And again, for the name EcoCool, Eco because it's a sustainability product, and cool because of our commitment to innovation in the construction industry.
All right.
Again, when you look at 32.5 N product on the market, it's super cool. So maybe we adopted the cool from super cool, so we have Eco Cool.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you say it's an eco-friendly product, what does that mean? Why are you introducing it at this time?
It's an eco-friendly product, like I mentioned earlier during my first question that you asked, that looking at the world tilting towards climate change and sustainability, it's appropriate that Gasm, leading the cement manufacturing for the past 57 years, we take the lead in this. I mean, as a result of a market demand, and also when we look at every other thing that has to do with the product, we are an environmentally responsible company. So it's appropriate that we take up this initiative. That's the reason why we brought up this product at this crucial time. And no better time than now.
And how different is Eco Cool from other cement products on the market, and what are some of its key technical benefits?
Okay, Eco Cool during production reduces CO2 emission.
All right.
And then CO2 emission reduction, again, it also helps the average Ghanaian with good workability and with sulfate attacks. I mean, there's a lot of sulfate attacks on our buildings, so it helps with that. Not compromising on the quality Gasm presents to the average Ghanaian or the normal Ghanaian. So it's a very good product, and we are encouraging everybody to get this product.
So it's produced in a more sustainable way.
Exactly.
So how will I identify it in the market? Is it like, because your cement comes in a regular brown, so there be like some green thing on it? How will I know that this is Eco Cool I'm buying?
Okay, so with the Eco Cool, you see that the bag is green. It has this eco-friendly paper bag.
Okay.
Aside the brown paper bag, you'd see the fonts is green. You see green grass, flowers, and a butterfly to show its eco-friendliness.
I see. Any particular type of construction or specific projects that this Eco Cool cement is suitable for?
Okay, so the Eco Cool is a 32.5 grade of cement.
Okay.
And with a guide of a professional, the Eco Cool could be used for all types of construction, especially when it comes to the 32 grade, whereby we use it for block laying, plastering, non-structural concrete. I'm saying this with the emphasis on the professional guide because, you know, people think with cement you can use it for everything. Yes, it does, but you need a professional advice to guide you through that. And with the use of Eco Cool for these uses I've already mentioned, then it means that we're also promoting sustainability.
I see. I actually think this question is already answered, but it's asked, how does Eco Cool contribute to your broader eco-friendly goals? All right.
Yes, so the CO2 emissions or the footprint of carbon dioxide in here is very, very important. And Gasm, as the lead manufacturer of cement for the past 5 years, has done really well to reduce our CO2 footprint. And the introduction of Eco Cool is also part of this journey for us to do that. So in the next 5 years, there's also other targets for us to also continue reducing our CO2 footprint when it comes to cement production.
So are there any other innovative or sustainable products that we should expect from the Gasm stables?
Yeah, Eco Cool is the first, let's say, sustainable product we've launched. And with the support of our parent company, Heidelberg Materials in Germany, Gasm is really researching into a lot more sustainable materials and greener technologies to support the development of Ghana and also the construction industry as a whole. So there's a lot of research into local raw materials, and that's how come Eco Cool also plays that first journey we started. Yeah.
Where do you see Ghana's construction industry headed in terms of sustainability, innovation, and how is Gasm positioning itself as a leader in that space?
So recently we know that sustainability is becoming an issue everywhere.
Yeah.
And also, as very soon we see it to become a very important standard in the industry. And Gasm is committed to leading such transformation by investing in cleaner processes, partnerships, and other innovative products in this direction, so that when it comes to sustainability, when it comes to construction, when it comes to development of Ghana, Gasm is ready to take control or lead with that.
Amazing. So if you're thinking about building or you want to make an environmentally conscious choice, Eco Cool is available How many distributors do you have? I'm sure you can't even mention.
We have distributors nationwide.
Everywhere.
Yes.
Even space. I see. So do you then say, so are all your cement products now EcoCool, or the EcoCool is an offering among the Gasm brands?
Okay, so then EcoCool becomes our sixth product.
Correct.
In the Ghanaian market. Yeah.
So what other products do you have?
So we have the Gasm Extra. We call the SEM1. The local people say the OPC, which is used for high structural buildings like the Pokwasi interchange and those structural, the marine structures. Then comes the Gasm Super Strong, the 42.5R, which is ideal for block manufacturing, and also for constructions, concrete works. Then comes the Gasm 32.5R, the Super Rapid, which is also ideal for non-structural works. Then comes our 32.5N, the Super Cool. All these are products that are in the system, and then our masonry cement. That one is strictly for block laying and plastering. So among these 5 products, you will see that there's no local raw material in it. That's how come in our drive for sustainability and eco-friendliness, Gasm has introduced the EcoCool 32.5N. So compared to the 32.5N Super Cool, we have reduced the clinker incorporation and replaced it with the calcined clay, local
sourced here.
So that it will also help in sustainability.
Maybe you should run a promo on EcoCool. And say the first 100 people who come and buy 1,000 bags, you will get something.
No, there's actually a very good conversation to that.
Yeah.
So if you buy EcoCool, what you're doing is that for the first 1 million bags that we're going to sell,
you see,
we're donating 1 million Ghana cedis to the Tree for Life Reforestation Initiative. So we enforce our commitment to environmental sustainability, and this is to the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources.
So I was thinking about that.
Yes, exactly.
So for the first 1 million bags sold,
yes, exactly.
Proceeds from that 1 million cedis will go to the Tree
Yes
for Life. But what was the tagline, by the way, of EcoCool?
Cementing a sustainable nation.
Cementing a sustainable nation.
Yes.
I see. Because Gasm's tagline is the nation builder.
The nation builder.
I see. So the nation must be there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. You should also go and meet the nation prophet. Hey!
Nation!
EcoCool. Cementing what?
A sustainable nation.
A sustainable nation.
Nation prophet.
No, don't go there.
Okay.
It's steady, why? Real cool. Asamad Dech is head of direct sales, Gasm Frank and Jack Pong, lead marketing and PR. So ask for EcoCool, and for every Gasm distributor they will have it. And I'm sure the price point is also pretty reasonable, right?
Yes. Among the products, yes.
It's not that expensive.
Very competitive.
Okay. Let's just leave it that way. All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
In the meantime, if you're upgrading your office, call the experts. Expert Office Furnish have ergonomic swivel chairs available. Intelligent seat cushion with dynamic bionic spine pressure relief design.
Nice.
The dynamic smart motion back technology support is equipped with double wing support chips and has great benefits for your health and spine. Locate us off the Atomic Hills Estate on the Asori Junction near ASI Plaza, Ashoman Estates. You may also call 0571 386 600 or 0244 280 532. Go online, expertofficefurnish.com. Expert Office Furnish, your health, your wealth. So many comments, some very interesting comments coming in for Richie Sky. One of my friends says, let me read the message. You laugh that. He says, good morning, Citi Breakfast Show crew. Listening and a serious question. Why does Richie Sky's laugh sound like an old fat man sitting in the village who ate too much fufu with palm soup and goat meat, drank too much beer and is laughing from his big toe to his glasses frames? Brilliant Sky. Listening in a car, enjoying the rich discussion. Hashtag Sky's laugh. Wow. It's actually something we are hoping to get. A play where we can move back to the village, put on our Igbe towel on our waist, and look on the veranda and say, Jesus is Lord. Just laugh. Quack, 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 quack. So that's, you got it.
Mama no, baby I made dream moon, humans and moon ko biemo, me
And a few more comments, Caleb, if you can just help me with them.
Yes, Bernard. So Benin is deliberate about everything. They are putting things in place and the country is becoming a destination. Avokoku, I volunteer to be your tour guide. Why? For free.
Do you live in Benin?
Uncle Sicho sent that through. He probably visits Benin very often. Good morning, Bernard and team.
Morning.
It is good that we are going to have that kind of market in the region. That market can serve people in North Tong and Central Tong districts as well.
Okay.
But I also think you all have been unfair this morning about the Keta Harbour, and I'll urge you to do your investigations well.
If the Keta Harbour is there, we'll see it now.
Isn't it?
You can't investigate the harbour. Is there a harbour there or not? You can investigate a story, but the harbour. How do you investigate the harbour? Maybe we should go and look for the harbour. Sky. They say we should investigate the Keta Harbour.
It's a signboard that is there.
No. The guy said we have not been fair about the Keta Harbour thing. So he's urging us to do our investigation. So I want to commission you to go and investigate the Keta Harbour. But you did investigative journalism.
Yes.
So go and investigate.
I know, he said we have not been fair.
Charlie.
No, but the fact is that the harbour hasn't been built.
No, he said we should investigate the harbour. So we are going to investigate it. Like, we are going to look for the harbour.
Is it infrastructure? You either built it or you did not.
No, you have to investigate it.
Okay, so right. We'll go there. We'll go there.
So they had a Keta port CEO.
Yes.
But is Keta amenable to a port?
Yes. I mean, it used to be.
Isn't it better to do more landing beaches in that area?
No. I think we do need a major port.
But with all the ocean taking the land.
No, so that is one way of actually even protecting the coast.
Is it?
Yes. I mean, long before who became the capital.
Keta was the capital.
The older people will tell you that that's that because.
My question is that you think that the cost of putting up a port there will merit the benefit when a lot of the people are losing their homes and having to move away from the coast?
No. So it will be. So you see, the level of recovery you do of land from the sea allows for expansion of the land space. Right. In fact, if you look at the whole of that stretch on the Google map, you will notice that it is just a slim stretch of land in between the lagoon and then the sea. You understand? So in order to actually reinforce that strip of land properly, some of these interventions are necessary. That's why in the very olden days, I mean, they were using Keta as part of the efforts to transport, even slaves out of.
So it's amenable to that.
Yes.
Here's a comment that seems to suggest that we should do the farming. So he says, Bernard, you are right. Being an absentee farmer isn't easy, especially with dishonesty being a major hurdle. But with a decade of farming under my belt and a busy day job as a marketing manager at a company, I've made it work. The satisfaction of contributing to food production and job creation keeps me going. Even on tough days, I encourage you to try. So he says we should do the farming.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think as for the farming, is we have to do it. It's a must.
We must to do it.
I mean, yes, because there is really no serious mind who is doing something as huge as you do without getting involved in farming. And there's this message coming in from Bridget, who is saying that value addition and innovation should be the case. You know, the Volta region is in pole position right now. Most farm produce from other parts of the country are now contaminated with lead and mercury because of the high levels of galamsey activities we are seeing. So we must capitalize on this. The markets can not only remain places for buy and sell, it should become a place to brand and produce from those towns and areas. The cassava, gari, plantain, oil, etc. must be touted as pure and uncontaminated.
I support this with 1,000 bags of Ecoco.
Exactly. Exactly, man.
So meanwhile, some more comments coming through.
Yes, this one says, good morning. The Keta Harbour is there. The administrative block is being built.
Oh, I see.
Sayram Sendai from Spintex.
So the harbour is there?
No.
Or the administration block?
That would be an addition to the signboard, you know. Good morning.
Okay, I will go there. You know, I'm a certified, pilot. So I will go there.
Go and check some shots.
Great. A new market that is Wache Seller is Wache Sellers. So a new market of Wache Sellers is fast springing up under the footbridge of the Spina Junction bus stop near Villaggio. Another person is hanging dresses on the flyover for sale. This, if not checked on time, will turn the whole place into a market where a fufu seller, among others, will position themselves, and we will later struggle to decongest the place. The city authorities must wake up now. So I send that from Oyarifa, concerned citizen.
In the meantime, Diamond Cement for the past 25 years has been putting smiles on the faces of homeowners, block makers, and supported numerous constructions with our high quality product rated green by the EPA, with our 32.5 hour with a great deal for everybody's pocket, and of course our 42.5 hour high quality cement on the Ghanaian market. Now, anyone who wishes to buy Diamond Cement should deal with the company directly. We have factories in Aflao. Takrady, we pay.
Yes.
Call 0244313368. I think it's the biggest company in Aflao.
Yes, easily.
Yeah. Have they fixed the road?
Well, I mean, in terms of the road from the border all the way to...
No, the Diamond Cement Road.
Oh, no, that one, the last time I went there, I didn't go to that area.
Because there's a big... A lot of times people comment about that. That road needs to be fixed.
But the road through the town, at least from the border up to Kotoko and related areas are in...
All right. This is EL.
Yeah, man.
So when you see me rolling on your block, it be my God. Like a sickly woman, coco in my God. I never they wonder, never worry you. My baba they my body. I never they holla for my money, I call on my God. I never they wonder, never worry you. My baba they my body. I never they holla for my money, I call on my God. My people, let me hear you say.
Alright, on that note, we say a big thank you for listening. City Breakfast Show started off with Caleb Kuda with a news bar review with Richard Sky and Francisca Kakra-Forsen joining later on to bring you some great breakfast. Now we have time for the news at 10 with a Jubi Afia Kinting. Take it up.
Good morning, Bernard. Coming up.